I was on mute. Hey guys, how are you today? Let's see. Let's give it a few more minutes, get some more people hopping in here, and let me log on from my phone so I can view you guys' comments in real time as they are coming in. Let me know if you're catching this live. Let me know where are you from. And if you're catching this in a replay, where are you watching from? Where are you catching this replay at? So let me see here. Let me pull up the video. Let me know if you're catching There we go. Awesome, awesome. So I can see the chat messages right now. Hey guys, all right. So I think we got a few people on. We got a few people watching live. We got Jerica. Hey Jerica. Jerica is from Kentucky. Hey, did you go to the Kentucky Derby this year? Jerica, that's actually on my bucket list is to go to the the Kentucky Derby and get all dressed up. And I want to put on my, my fancy hat. I think most of us have been inspired by the movie Pretty Woman, right? Where she goes and she gets all dressed up on nice and lovely, like, right? Yeah, so that is definitely on my bucket list to go next year to the Kentucky Derby. Hey, homemade cleaning service from Virginia. Hey guys, how are you today? All right, so we have to just connect, guys. We've been, just tax season has happened, right? First and foremost, congratulations. And, just I'm proud of you guys, just how you were able to handle tax season. It was a lot. It's been a lot these past 2 seasons, since COVID happened. And I just want to commend all of you for just stepping up, right? You guys have been navigating tax law. You guys have been helping clients. A lot of you guys are still waiting on your clients' refunds, right? There's still a lot of people that haven't been funded and you've been hanging in there, right? You've been hanging in there. So kudos to you and just all of the great work that you guys are doing out here for your individual and business taxpayers, right? So we got Adrian from California. Hey, Adrian. I'm still debating, guys, right? So we'll get caught up for a few more minutes and let a few more people get up on here before we actually get into the webinar. But, I've been trying to debate on which state I want to actually make my home state, right? We're looking to move, right? So right now I'm in Michigan, right? So this is my Michigan view. And I would love to go somewhere warm during the winter months. I would love to be somewhere warm. So California or Florida was like my top 2 options, or are my top 2 options. I've been recently looking at Texas, right? My main motivator is warm weather and no income tax. Warm weather and no income tax. But something about California just calls me, right? Like it's already been calling me, especially the San Diego area. But so if you guys, have any ideas on where I can move that has warm weather, especially during the wintertime, the traditional wintertime, and no income tax, no state income tax, then drop in the chat below and let me know what other ideas you guys might have for that. And the only thing that's been preventing me from actually like moving to California, like I'll probably get property out there, probably invest in a couple of real estate assets out there. But as far as making it my home state, those income taxes just not happening. Those income taxes is not happening. Jerika says, no Kentucky Derby. We have 6 kids and hardly any date nights due to COVID. At some point we will. Okay, I feel you. Josh is from South Carolina. Hey, y'all. Jay says San Diego is beautiful. Yes, I absolutely love San Diego. I have to actually make another trip out there. The last time I was in San Diego was in October, where I had our tax and accounting retreat out there. And it was absolutely amazing. I rented an Airbnb right off the ocean front, beautiful views, literally walking distance to the water. And like, I'm addicted to water, guys. Like wherever I move, you're going to know I'm going to be off the water somewhere. So, because I'm addicted to being off of the waterfront. Hey, y'all. All right. So, listen, I wanted to connect with you guys because one, we are out of tax season. Technically, a lot of you guys are going to be officially done with tax season June 15th because a lot of, not a lot, but there were about 3 or 4 states that were extended due to, certain, federally declared disasters last year. And so we are rounding out tax season. And so typically what happens is that right after tax season, two things happen. One, tax pros, tax professionals are burned out. Okay. Type a 1 in the chat right now if you're a little burned out right now. If you're like, oh my God, I need a vacation, I need a break. Actually, type it in the chat. Where are you going to vacation? I actually want to know, like, where are you guys going to get some R&R after this tax season? Right. So that's typically what happens. You guys are in a position where you've been working 60 hours a week on average, sometimes even more. For a lot of you, you've been working even longer and you're really ready to just relax right now, right? Rightfully so. You are ready to take a break. Okay. Now, the second thing that's going to happen is that you're going to get your relax, your rest and relaxation on. You're going to come back and you're going to like start to figure out like what else can you do? How else can you bring in revenue? Right. And this used to be a big thing for me around this time, around July, I would say around probably July, August. I was really hungry for additional income. Right. And I would, look into bookkeeping. I would look into credit repair. I would just try to look into other types of services that I can offer that would bring me consistent revenue into my tax and bookkeeping business. And tonight, I just want to go over how you can do that. I'm going to kind of walk through the strategies on what you should be focusing on to help you bring in that additional revenue that you are going to need and want in a couple of months, right? Because tax season money is great. Tax season money is great. You typically can make, at minimum $50,000 upwards to hundreds of thousands of dollars in a season. However, I wouldn't make that my only income. Most tax professionals either offer other ancillary services, like I said already, like bookkeeping, right? And there's several other services that we're going to talk about tonight. Or you will find that a lot of tax professionals have other businesses, right? So they're in a whole nother industry, a whole nother sector, right? Some people are in trucking, some people are real estate agents, some people do insurance, right? So you're going to find that it's really smart to create additional ways that you can make money. Okay, additional ways that you can make money. All right, so let's see what you guys are saying really quick while we have a few more people hop on here. So Nicole, hey Nicole, she says, I love the view. Thank you. Everybody wants to take a vacation. Yep. So we got Cheryl, Monica, Adrian, Nelly. Nicole is going to Jamaica. Yes, Nicole. That's what I'm talking about. Adrian says she's going to Mexico, then a drive to Arizona, the Arizona Grand Canyon. That sounds amazing. Jay says this emoji was created for post-tax season. The dizzy emoji, Jay? Yes. Josh says, I want to go into tax planning. Yes, Josh. So beautiful. So yes, let's talk about that tonight. So we're going to talk about a suite of additional services that you guys can offer tonight. Okay. So I'm going to pop up my webinar slides for you guys. And I'm going to really be digging in deeper. Normally, I keep it very streamlined. Tonight, I just want to chill with you guys. So go ahead and get your Starbucks. Listen, me and my kiddos, we just came back from Starbucks. I have like two or three drinks over here. Okay. Like go ahead and chill out with me, get comfortable, get your notes, right? Because I really just want to kick it with you guys and tell you and show you how you can bring in additional income over the next couple of months so you can hit your goals, right? So you can hit your goals. Lee says he's from Bakersfield, California. Hey, Lee. All right, so let me go ahead and share my screen with you guys. Go ahead and share my screen. I'm excited if you cannot tell because I feel like I haven't connected with you guys in so long. I haven't gone live in a minute. There we go. Okay. So one of the main markers that you guys know that I teach is just building a multiple six-figure virtual firm. This is something that, we heavily invest in teaching our clients because I know that social media is the difference maker, right? Like if you can master social media, if you can get clients from all over the country using social media, then why wouldn't you? Right. So I really want to dig in deep on this, on how you can actually utilize social media to really grow and scale your business. So listen, you are probably one of four people right now. You're either working your 9 to 5 job. So who here right now, just type a one in the chat if you're working your 9 to 5, right? You're probably in banking, right? I used to work at Bank of America for several years, Chase Bank. You're in accounting. You're probably working in an accounting firm or a bookkeeping firm. You're in insurance, but you truly desire to start your own tax and bookkeeping business and make enough money to quit your job. Like hashtag quit your job. Okay. Who else want to hashtag quit their job? Okay. Put that in the chat for me. Or you own your own tax business, but you really desire to incorporate bookkeeping and other services to bring in consistent income. So again, this was me, right? I had grew my tax firm. And I remember, servicing about 300 to 350 clients. And I'm like, dang, I need to bring in some more money after May. I was on a struggle bus, right? And I'm like, I really need to start really understanding, one, how do I do bookkeeping? How do I get bookkeeping clients? And then what other services I could provide. 3, you currently do and own your own bookkeeping, but you seem to be stuck with low paying clients, right? So I think we've all pretty much been there. Listen, if you've ever offered bookkeeping at some point, you probably have done bookkeeping for the free 99. Okay. You probably did bookkeeping for like $100 a month or $50 per month. We've all been there. But if this is you want to be able to charge $750, $1,500, $2,000 per month for your services, to where you literally only need 10 clients to make 10 grand a month, right? At $1,000 a piece. And you really want to know, how can I increase my fees, right? And provide and show value to the client, right? This was a big problem. This is a big problem for a lot of bookkeepers out there. They don't know how to communicate their value. They don't know how to charge a value-based price for their services, okay? And last but not least is the serial entrepreneur. Okay. So listen, this was me too, guys, right? I was a real estate agent. I was a notary. I owned my own credit repair business, right? I started my own transportation company. I wanted to be a life coach. Okay. Like who here else is multi-talented like myself and multifaceted, right? A lot of you guys are so multifaceted, right? You're multi-talented. You can do and operate many different types of businesses. And honestly, you enjoy it, right? You enjoy learning about new business ventures and going in. But the key here that you're looking for consistent revenue, right? And all these people have one thing in common. They all want one thing, guys. They just want to make money consistently. They're like, hey, I just want to get to $5,000 to $10,000 plus per month so that I can quit my job, so that I can grow my other businesses, so I can start investing in real estate or other assets like stocks, bonds, cryptocurrency, real estate, right? You want to just make enough money to do you, right? How many of you guys out here like that? You like, listen, tax season money is good, but I want to bring in 10 plus K every single month, right? It's not uncommon for you guys to make 20K, 30K during tax season per month, right? But you want to bring that in all year round, right? Right? All year round. So you are in the right place. We're going to talk about that today. So big shout out to a few of my clients, right? So this is Julia. When she started working with me, she was working her corporate 9 to 5 job, and she is now experiencing 15K months in her tax and accounting business. Shout out to Brittany and Lita. They started with me from scratch. Now they're at 5K months, right? In their tax and bookkeeping business. And then my Cherie, she's the OG, guys, right? She's been with me since pretty much day one, right? She's now experiencing $30,000 months, right? She's a trucker's accountant. You've probably seen her on Instagram, YouTube, right? She is crushing it right now, okay? So I'm going to show you really the strategies that we utilize on social media, because a lot of people, they're like, okay, Krista, well, how do I get clients consistently using Facebook and LinkedIn, right? They probably want to know, where exactly should I start in trying to grow my tax and bookkeeping business? And you might be even skeptical, right? You're probably like, Krista, whatever. Yeah, I post on Facebook, I post on IG, but nothing is happening, right? I'm not really getting anybody to become a client. Yeah, I'm getting some likes, right? And some shares and some comments, but you really want to learn how to convert these people to paid clients, okay? And this was me too, guys. And you've also probably been thinking that you really aren't on social media like that. Listen, I have a love-hate relationship with Instagram. Okay. Can I be honest with you guys tonight? Can I be honest with you guys? I have a love-hate relationship with Instagram. You go on my Instagram page. Listen, I'll post and I'll archive it. I'll post and I'll archive it. Like, it's just something about Instagram. You want to know why, guys? I'm gonna be honest tonight. Okay. Let me be honest. The reason why is I see other people's Instagram accounts and they're so perfect, right? They have all of these perfect graphics. Everything is color schemed, is laid out beautifully, right? When I post, I'm just posting to because I'm making money, right? I'm posting what I want to post. But then when I look at it, it's not cohesive. I don't have a brand image. You know what I'm saying? So I'll end up archiving all of my photos away. And so listen, I get it. A lot of my clients are just like me. They're like, Krista, I really don't care for social media like that, right? Like, who else is like that? You really don't care to be posting for the gram every day. You really don't care to be posting for Facebook or for any other platform 3, 4, 5 times a day. I feel you guys, right? It's a love-hate relationship. But here's what I learned. You have to show up, even if you only do it once or twice a week. I'm not saying, go ham, go crazy in the paint, 3, 5 times a day, which you could, but you don't need to do all of that to grow multiple 6 figures. And I am a proven testament of that. I have dozens of clients that are a proven testament of that. We only post on average once or twice a week. Who here will love to post once or twice a week, not do it for the gram every 5 minutes, and still rack in $150,000, $200,000 a year? Give me some love in the chat if this is you. If you love the idea of not posting crazy on TikTok or Instagram or Facebook, right? Now, here's what I want you to know, because we're going to talk about social media in a few. You have to be willing to put yourself out there. Okay. You can get off this webinar right now. I'm going to still love you, but get off this webinar right now if you absolutely do not want to post on social, if you do not absolutely want to show your face on social. What I teach won't work for you, because you still have to show up at least once or twice a week. I promise. But you don't have to do it for the gram. Like, I'm impressed, honestly. And so here's my thoughts on this. I'm impressed, honestly, with those influencers and people that can post 2 or 3, 5 times a day. I love it. I'm here for it. Okay. But here's what you can do. You're going to grow your business to 6 figures with these strategies that I'm going to teach you tonight, only posting once or twice a week, right? In the future, you can pay people that like to perform for the gram or like to perform for Facebook or for LinkedIn. You can pay them to be on their platforms or to get access to their list down the line after you've already made your 6 figures. So you don't have to be the person that is the entertainer. We come with value, and value, quality over quantity is going to trump it every time. So because my content is high quality, I only need a little bit to get a lot. You guys feel me? So I don't have to post 2 or 3 times a day to still make the type of revenue that we're bringing in, right? Which we just passed 7 figures last year. So I want to teach you guys this. So a lot of you guys have bookkeeping and tax knowledge. You just need to really learn how to get clients consistently. Social media is definitely where it's at. But I want you to stop chasing your tail, okay? I want you to stop looking at everybody's webinars, stop looking at everybody, like stop Googling all the things, okay? And just focus, right? So I want you guys to focus with me really quick, because really imagining is one of the first steps to obtaining everything that you want. Everything that we acquire in our life first started with a thought. It first started with our imagination. So I want you to sit here right now with me and just imagine if you got 10 new bookkeeping clients or tax resolution clients or 10 new tax planning clients or 10 new CFO clients in 2021. what would that mean for you, right? Where you were charging on average $500, $1,000, $2,000 per client per month, okay? That right there, we only need about 10 to 15 clients paying us anywhere between $500 and $1,000, and that's on the low end, guys, to make six figures in additional revenue to our tax season income, okay? So I want you to imagine that you were speaking to a new potential client every single day. You got to envision it first. Anything that you want in life, any goals that you have, any aspirations that you desire, start envisioning it in your mind. Everything starts with the thought. So what would it feel like to talk to a new potential client every single day? You're talking to John from California this day. Then you're talking to Daniel from New York that day or that hour, right? Talking to multiple people in a day. And they're booking calls with you because they need and want your tax and accounting services. And what if your ideal clients were engaging with you on social media and reaching out to you every single week? How would that feel? Where people was just sliding in your DM, right? Saying, hey, Jerika, I saw that you did a video on this and I need your help with that, right? Or, hey, Latasha, I saw that you posted about this and I need help with that. And you have complete strangers reaching out to you, right? So that's the power of social media. That is the power. So I'm going to give you everything you need to attract and acquire your ideal clients in 2021. Even if you are just starting out, you have no prior experience, and if you really aren't on social media and you hate being salesy, okay? So this is the real deal, guys. The strategies that I teach, my clients are crushing it with, right? They're making $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 per month. So shout out to Carla. Hey, Carla, if she's watching this, she posted this in our group. She says, signed a roofing client for QBO setup and monthly bookkeeping services, $1,000 for QBO setup and $297 monthly for bookkeeping. Boom. She says, signed an HVAC client for QBO cleanup for $4,400. Right? And then bookkeeping package was started at $1,297. Now listen, when Carla started working with me, she didn't have clients like this, right? She wanted to start offering bookkeeping services. And I tell this story all the time to my students. Like, Carla was frustrated with me the first, I would say, about 60 to 90 days. She was like, Krista, my niche, like they not taking me seriously. They keep, they're very alpha males, because her niche is construction, right? Construction workers. And so I kept having to tell her, I was like, listen, you got to come strong, right? You got to use the scripts. You got to come stronger in your approach. You got to be more confident. And I coached her throughout that process, because she was just like, this ain't working for me. And I had to just coach her through that process, but she stayed at it. So one of the things I commend you, Carla, for, if you're hearing this, is that you stayed at it. I'm so proud of you that you did not give up. She did not give up when she faced rejection. She did not give up when she faced a no. She did not give up when people were like, why are you charging so much? Or why is that price, right? And this is what I'm talking about. Like, this is the game changer, because guess what, guys? If it was so easy to get to $10,000 a month, everybody would be doing it. Can we agree? So what I teach is simple, but it is not easy, because people will tell you no. You will get on the phone with somebody and they say your price is too high, right? You will have someone tell you that they can get their sister, cousin, baby mama Keisha to do it for $99, right? You will get people to give you objections and to tell you flat out no. But the key difference is having a community, having a coach, having a mentor to push you, to tell you where you need to correct yourself, to give you tangible strategies and tips on how you can become better, how you can communicate better, how you can close better. That's the game changer. And I'm super proud of Carla, because she kept going. She listened to my feedback. One, she showed up, right? There's clients that don't even show up to the calls, right? I do coaching calls every week, right? Every day for our mentor hours. There's people that don't show up, but she showed up and actually got support. She was like, hey, I'm facing this objection. Hey, this person told me no. Hey, this person said my price was too high. How should I come back? How should I have price for it? And I was able to coach her, mentor her, and give her the confidence that she didn't have at the time. And now she's crushing it. Now she's having $15,000 months, right? Now she crushed it this tax season. So super shout out to Carla. This is Carrie. She posted this in our group. She says, hey team, I hope you all are well. I've been blessed with sudden growth and I'm looking for temporary help. So this is the beautiful part. Carrie still works her 9-to-5 job and now she's hiring while she's still working her job, hiring for her business. So this is something I love to teach is how you can actually hire, get people on your team to do the work. You guys don't have to be the ones doing the bookkeeping or the taxes, right? And that's something we're going to talk about towards the end. This is Lynn. She posted this in our group. She says, today is Good Friday. I just closed $4,200 in sales for QB setup and bookkeeping cleanup with another $3,500 for the same services. Boom. And she got this client from Instagram. This is Brittany Alita. She says, hey team, Brittany and I just closed out the month of February with our first bookkeeping client and our first $5,000 month. We are so thankful for all the time and support everyone has given us. Thank you, Krista, for helping us on the path to success, right? So shout out to Brittany Alita. Now, if you stick with me to the end, if you already don't have my social media branding blueprint course, I'm going to give it to you, right? So make sure you stick to the end of this. And we're going to actually do this for me, guys, because I know we're watching live on YouTube. Comment social media course, and I'll have my assistant go back and follow up with you guys to get your email so we can actually get this to you if you don't already have it. But you need to have your social media sites branded, right? They need to look a certain way because guess what? We're using social media to get clients. So you do need to make sure that your presence on social media is solid. This course in itself is a $200 value that I'm going to give away for free if you stick to the end of this webinar. Okay. All right. So in the next 45 minutes, right, I'm going to try to keep it very tight for you guys, right? Because I know it's Friday. You guys probably want to get out. A lot of you guys got your vaccines, right? You probably want to go out and hang and party. I feel you. Okay. So in the next 45 minutes, I'm going to show you why the old way in marketing is no longer effective. I'm going to show you how to learn how to provide high value services, right? Not just taxes and bookkeeping, but tax planning, tax resolution, and so forth. How to get a paid client in the next 7 days, how to price your tax and accounting services, right? This is a big deal for a lot of tax and accounting pros. How to set up your virtual firm and workflow, how to get tax and accounting clients from social media, and how to master sales with no sales experience, okay? So hang in there with me, but if you have to drop off, no worries. I'm gonna pop this video up and you'll be able to catch the replay, okay? So really quick, so who am I? I'm Krista Tyus. I've sold over $21 million in services over the past 10 years. And I've done what I teach, right? I've grown my very own enroll agent firm in the great state of Michigan since 2012. Okay. And I geek out, guys, on business, finance, marketing, books, right? And my favorite show is Billions whenever they come back on. Right now, I've been rewatching Downton Abbey, right? Who else here is a nerd on Downton Abbey, right? I've been rewatching that season. And then I've been able to consistently double my own tax and accounting firm year over year. So listen, guys, anything that I teach and everything that I teach is because I've done it. Right? I'm not one of these coaches that just popped up and was like, you know what, I'm going to teach the tax and accounting niche, right? Because there's a lot of them popping up now. Listen, I've absolutely grown my own firm from scratch, okay? I've done a lot of things right. But I've also done a lot of things wrong. And I think the biggest educator can be learning from other people's mistakes, right? Who here want to make a mistake if they can just look at someone else and learn, right? Learn from someone else's mistake. You don't have to experience, detriment and heartache and pain if you can just learn from someone and someone actually helps you navigate the pitfalls, right? So when I first started, I was 23 years old. I was a baby looking back, right? I had just become an enroll agent. I had quit Chase Bank. I remember I had just had my son. My son used to sit right next to me in his car seat. And in between clients, I used to breastfeed my son. And when clients used to come in, he used to be so fussy, right? He didn't like, he loved to be held. And when clients would come in, I would have to put him back in his car seat, and he would just have a field day. Like, he would cry and scream. And my clients, I know several clients was like, you know what, let me hold him while you prepare my taxes. And they literally would feed my son while I was doing their taxes. They would play with him while I was doing their taxes, right? And just going back, just looking at these pictures, it always triggers those just emotions, right? On what this was like, starting my business from zero, right? I didn't have any tax and bookkeeping clients. I had just quit my 9-to-5 job, right? Working at Chase Bank. I had just had a baby, right? My son was only about 4 months old at this time, and I was broke. Okay. I was broke as a joke. Let me tell you. Listen, do not quit your job if you don't have any money in the bank to sustain you for at least 6 months to a year. Okay. Do not quit your job. Don't be me. Right. I was 23 and I didn't have a fear in the world, but guess what? I struggled. Right. I remember this location was in Detroit. It was off of 6 Mile. So a lot of you might, a lot of you guys who don't know Michigan or Detroit, you guys have heard 8 Mile because they had Eminem came out with the movie 8 Mile Road. But 6 Mile, okay. So parts of 6 Mile was a little rough. Okay. And so I was in a rough part of 6 Mile. And across the street was some drug dealers, and it was a gas station, and the drug dealers would stand on that corner all day and sell drugs, right? And it was right across the street from my tax office. So I was afraid, honestly, to even be in my tax office by myself with my child. And when I needed to go out I remember I had to go out and get some diapers. I didn't have any money. I had I don't even know where the couple of dollars came from, but I was like, let's see if the gas station across the street has diapers. I'm like, maybe they do. Listen, they did. They had the cheapest diapers in the world, diapers I never even heard of. Okay. And I went across the street with my baby, jaywalked right across, because it wasn't right across the gas station was not at a stoplight. And I got some diapers for Charlie, and the diapers were so poor. The quality of them was so poor that a day later he had the worst rash on his little bottom. And I just remember crying like, oh my God, I'm 20 something years old, broke. I had to buy some cheap diapers from the gas station in the hood, and my baby got a rash, right? Life was hard, guys. Life was absolutely hard. So I would take every last bit of my money that I had from my 9-to-5 job, and I put it into this office, right? I got this sign done, right? If you can see this dynamite tax sign, I got that done by a guy who I didn't know was also he was addicted to drugs, right? So when I first paid him the $250 to start to start on my window decal, he ghosted me. He ghosted me for almost a month. I couldn't find him, and I was crying again. I was like, I gave this guy $250 to do my window decal, and now I can't find him. He finally came back around when he obviously needed some more money, right, for his drug habit. And he finished, and I had wised up then. I was like, I'm not paying you any more money until you finish my signs. So he finished it that same day, and I paid him, and I never heard from that man again. I'm grateful that he was so cheap, but the experience of starting this storefront was horrific. Like, I went through trial after trial after trial, and especially being a single mom, okay? So it goes without saying, guys, my first year in business, I was on a struggle bus, right? So what I did was I looked around the industry and I said, okay, well, what is H&R Block doing? What is Liberty Tax doing? What is the other mom and pop tax offices doing with their marketing? Let me do that too. So I went out and I got lawn signs. I went out and I had got some business cards. I got flyers, right? Vistaprint got all my money. Like, who remember Vistaprint? Okay, I joke that Vistaprint was the first Canva. If you guys didn't know, like Vistaprint, you can go in there and just tweak up all your graphics for your flyers, your business cards, or what have you. And so I did that. I spent a lot of money investing in a lot of marketing activities. Like, I would put these lawn signs around the neighborhood, right? I would pay a guy to actually put these flyers on people's cars, right, around the neighborhood. And I even paid that same guy to stand outside with the sign, right? And the sign says, Dynamite tax, we will blow your refund up. Okay. That was what he was shaking. And when people would walk by, he'd be like, hey, let us blow your refund up. Come to Dynamite tax, right? And people would just laugh and keep walking, right? It was a joke to them. And I remember just sitting there like, man, this sign not working, these lawn signs not working, these flyers not working. Like barely nobody was coming to me. Okay. So guys, I struggled. I was on the struggle bus my first year, 20 something years old, broke, new mom, or this is my second child, but he was only about 4 or 5 months old. So starting over again, right? So I only acquired about 5 clients from these marketing efforts. So of the efforts where he was bringing in people, he was passing out flyers, I had about 5 people come in. I didn't even break even, right? I didn't even make my money back on what I actually spent him and then all the materials that I had to purchase. The other problem that I was having, guys, is that I was only charging about $75 to $100 per tax return. Like, are you serious? Who here is at this area right now where you're only charging about 75 to 100 bucks or like maybe 150 per tax return? Listen, this is the quickest way to go broke, guys. The quickest way to go broke is to only charge 75 to 100 bucks because you want to be nice and you don't want to, you know what I'm saying? Like I didn't know better. And I felt like that's what I needed to charge in order for people to come to me. And I vowed to myself, I was like, listen, I'm not going through this next tax season. I am not like, I got to get my life together. Okay. So how many of you guys have said that to yourself where you're like, okay, next tax season, I'm gonna get my life together? Like how many people thought this tax season was going to be just ballerific for them? And then this tax season came and it was like, meh. You know what I'm saying? Like we have grand expectations and just ideals for ourselves, right? We're like, man, we want to do more marketing next year. We're going to get more clients. We're not going to make the same mistakes. Some of you are after this tax season, you're like, man, next year, right? I'm going to do this and that and this. And so that's where I was. Every season, I would just say what I was going to do different, how I was going to be better. So what I did was I was like, Krista, okay, I got to get up out the hood. Okay. I got to get up out the hood because I think that was a deterrent. I think me being across the street from drug dealers was a deterrent. I didn't think people wanted to maybe come in to my office. I'm not sure. Plus there wasn't no parking where I was at. I was on a very busy street. The speed limit that I was on my first year, it was like 30 miles an hour, but people would frequently be going like 50, 60 miles an hour down 6 Mile. So one of the first things that I want to do is just find a different location. And I ended up passing by this ribs and chicken place that was just outside of Detroit in a small suburb just outside of Detroit. And I'm like, you know what? I was like, I think that ribs and chicken place will make a great tax office. And I was right. So I negotiated with the landlord. I spent that entire summer like busting my tail trying to get this location open, right? I got a upgraded right channel letters for my building, upgraded logo. I had my window decals, and even on the inside, I had to do a lot of renovations, right? Because it was set up like a restaurant. So I had to take out the kitchen that was in there and just make it an office. I mean, it was so much that I had to do. And I did about 80% of the work on the inside myself, right? Outside of removing the kitchen parts, right? Had a guy remove the exhaust, but a lot of that work, like laying down my laminate floors, I did myself, right? So this is the inside of the place, right? Over here where these credenzas are, that was the kitchen area that had to be removed out. And I laid these hardwood floors myself, right? I don't remember how much they were, but I bought them from one of the hardwood places. They got delivered, and I researched on YouTube, like how to lay laminate flooring, right? Like YouTube University. Listen, you can learn anything from YouTube, guys, let me tell you. But I researched how to lay down these floors, and it took me about, I think it took me almost 2 weeks to do this whole job myself. Like a professional would have did this in one day, but it took me about 2 weeks to actually lay these floors down myself, okay? So here's what happened. I I contracted my brother and my two cousins to help me because my business started to grow, right? I started to market more. I started to just let people know more about the services that I offered. And I started to get some clients. And so now I had money to get some help, right? I needed help to stay organized. Look at all this paper. Like, Lord, like, it's not like this no more, guys. Like, let me tell you, it is not like this no more. But look, all the, like, I had files and stacks of paperwork that I needed help with, right? My brother would review the tax returns for me. My cousins would file them away. They would set appointments. They would, when people came in, they would offer them like coffee and tea. Like, we were a team. And for the first time, I felt like a CEO. I was like, okay, Krista, like, you're on the right path. Even though I was still struggling, right? I was still trying to figure out like what was working and what wasn't working. Okay. Now, that year, I had invested in a lot of different marketing activities, right? I started to get a new website. I had invested in billboards, right? So I had billboards all up and down 8 Mile Road. I had billboards on 9 Mile. I even had radio and television commercials, right? Trying to get business because I was just trying to emulate, what H&R Block did, what Liberty Tax was doing. And after I invested all of that, I really lost money, right? Like radio. Like, it was thousands of dollars lost money. Those billboards were thousands of dollars. I lost money. And I really felt like a kid just throwing mud at the wall. I'm like, listen, like, I'm just going to try this stuff and just hope and pray that it works. Right. And I remember being frustrated and thinking like, why is this so hard to get clients consistently? Like, why is this such a struggle? And by this time, like, guys, like, I'm condensing down the story for you because listen, like, I'm literally spanning like years and years of my 20s, right? The majority of my 20s. I'm condensing this down to you, but I did this every single year. Every year, I would say, I'm going to do another marketing activity. And I would take all my profits from my tax and bookkeeping business and dump it into all these different marketing strategies, hoping and praying that they were going to give me a 3, 4, 5, 10x return on my investment. And every season, I was disappointed at the results. And that's when I was just kind of slipping into a slight depression because I'm like, man, like, I'm trying really hard. Like, I'm not, like, I wasn't buying anything frivolous. I wasn't like living the good life. Like, I literally spent my 20s just working head down on the struggle bus, trying to figure out what marketing activities worked and how I could actually grow and scale this business. Because let's be honest, like, I wanted to scale to $1 million. Like, that was always the goal, was to be a millionaire, was to make $1 million in a year. And it was just like, it was eluding me. I couldn't really figure it out. And by this time, like, these were some really dark times for me, right? Like, I remember being on the side of my bed one day and I couldn't afford my rent at my home or my office. And I'm like, okay, I got to make a decision. Like, which rent am I going to pay? Am I going to pay my house or am I going to pay my tax office? So I decided to pay my tax office, right? And I ended up getting evicted from my home. And me and my two kids had to stay in my tax office. Right. And it was so surreal. Like, anybody see the movie, The Pursuit of Happiness with Will Smith? And all those struggles that him and his son went through. Like, listen, that was me in the female version, right? The Pursuit of Happiness is like a big chunk of that is my life. Like, me and my kids in my tax office, washing up at the sink, right? I have to pretend to my kids that we're on this adventure, right? They were just staying the night and we're having this adventure together. So they're not looking at me crazy. And like, I ran into a really deep, dark depression, like, right? Like, I was just like, I don't know what to do. I don't know where to go. I don't know how to make it better. And I just had to figure it out, right? I had to figure it out. So one day it hit me. So here's what I discovered. I wasn't able to break through the noise. Right. So after I went back and I honestly kind of reevaluated all of the marketing activities that I had deployed over the past couple of years, I was like, you know what? I was marketing like everybody else, right? Like, I was doing the same thing that everybody else was doing. Everybody was doing flyers. Everybody, all the big wigs had billboards or radio, right? Or television. The problem was I was getting lost in that sea of competition. No one could hear me because I was sounding like everyone else. Like, no one was paying attention to what I had to say because it looked like all the other marketing campaigns out there. And the clients that I was getting, I was forced to compete on price. right? Because I didn't know how to articulate my true value. Now, I would say that this was a true turning point in my life when I really figured out that I had to break through the noise. And in order to break through the noise, I had to communicate value. That was game changer. That was game changer for me, because I was like, Krista, instead of you talking about biggest refund and that you're most trustworthy, or just, touting my credentials, I was like, listen, why don't you actually market with the consumer in mind? Right? People care about, what can you do for me? How can you solve my problem? Right? How can you help me get to my desires? So I asked myself, I was like, okay, what if I just focus my marketing on solving my ideal client's problem? Right? That's something people care about. People care of like getting their issues resolved. And when I really figured it out, when I really started to market that way, and market with the end consumer in mind, and do what I call like value-based marketing, that's when I was able to bank over $100,000 the following year. And I was completely shocked, because I had always came a little close, but like that year I had hit it, right? And it was so amazing to just see that money flow through my account. Like having my first $20,000 month was absolutely crazy, right? Having my first $30,000 month was like just mind boggling. And then looking at my bank statements month over month, how my money came in, I was just like, Krista, you did it. Like you legit turned a horrible situation into success. And after all those years, advertising on radio, flyers, mailers, TV, billboards, cold calling, door knocking, endless networking, right? I did all the things, guys. I used to even go door to door asking people, did they do their taxes, right? Like I was hustling, okay? I finally figured out what the secret sauce was, right? I finally figured out what the secret sauce. The secret sauce was provide value. The secret sauce was communicate value in your marketing message so that you can differentiate yourself from the competition. You don't want to sound like everybody else, right? You don't want to look like everybody else. You want to be different in the marketplace. So I was able to do a lot of the things that I wanted to do, right? I went skiing, was petrified, right? I did a tour of Europe, and that was absolutely amazing. I was able to buy the things that I've always wanted, right? I never had the money to buy some Christian Louis Vuittons, or a Louis bag, right? Or a Mercedes, but I was able to do those things and finally reap the fruits of all the hard work that I had put in. So I want you guys to imagine with me doubling your own tax and accounting business in 2021. Okay, so whatever you made last year, what if you were able to double that this year? What would that look like? How much would that be if you were able to double your income from last year this year? How much would you make this year? Because that's exactly what happened. I went from on the struggle bus, trying to figure it out, doing all the things, doing all the marketing, right? Sounding like everybody else, to figuring out how to actually market my services and banking over 6 figures in income, right? And that transition happened within the 12-month period. So I want you guys to know that, listen, I'm not special here, okay? I am not special. If I can do this, guys, if I can turn my life around, being a single mom with 2 children, not in the best of neighborhoods, and turn my business and my life around and figure out how to successfully provide and offer value, I know for a fact everyone on this line, everyone hearing this message can do the exact same thing. Right? There's no doubt in my mind. And I'm not just one of those gurus, right? I tell people, listen, all the time, like, I am not a guru. I am not, I don't have 1 million followers or anything crazy like that. I want to show you real people, right? Real people like me that was able to take these strategies that I've been able to synthesize down and implement and execute and get success from it. So when Julia started working with me, July 2019, she had made $6,100 in the month of August. So literally 30 to 45 days later, after her learning these marketing strategies, she had made over $6,000. And she had 0 Facebook page or social media pages, period, before she started working with me. Okay. Lynn, she hit her first 10K month within the first year of us working together. Right. And Lynn is one of the hardest working people that I know. Like, she executes the majority of what I tell her to do. Okay. This is Carrie. She made $30,000 her first year in the business while working her 9 to 5. And now this year she's scaling to $175,000. right? And that's just the start of it, guys, right? So I've helped thousands at this point of businesses start or grow their firms with proven marketing strategies. Now I want to actually go through some tangible steps with you guys, right? I want to go through what are the tangibles, right? So this is the stuff where you kind of break out that notepad. Go ahead and take a sip of your Starbucks with me real quick. Let me take a sip really quick. All right, because we are going to get into the real deal. Are you guys ready for this? You guys ready for this training? Jarika says, thanks so much for sharing. Jay says, such a powerful story. Awesome, guys. Awesome. All right, so let's talk about how you're actually going to attract and acquire accounting clients, right, for the remainder of this year. So tax season just ended, and I want you guys to be able to hit it hard, right? We got 6 months, okay? So hashtag 6 months to go all in with your business so that you can hit your goal, right? So that you can hit your goal. So type in the chat really quick, how much money do you want to make this year? How much money on December 31st, 2021, how much would you like to close the year out with? Go ahead and type it in the chat. Go ahead and type it in the chat. Jay says, ready. Tarika says, I'm ready to take notes. Awesome. So how much money do you guys want to make by the end of this year? Awesome. There we go. So it's a lag in the messaging. So here you guys come. I'm starting to see some numbers. So Jarika says $50,000. Boom. Adrian says $100,000 net. I love that, Adrian. I like how you put that net on there. Okay. So Adrian, I think we need to make probably 120, 150 if you want to net at least 100. So Dan says outside from the earnings is tax season, another 100K. Boom. Totally doable. Yeah, so that's less than $20,000 a month from here on out. That's amazing. Awesome, guys. All right, perfect. So a lot of you guys want to make at least another $50,000 to $100,000 over the next 6 months, which is beautiful. So let's talk about 5 strategies, okay, that you can use to actually do that. So I created my level up method. Everybody know that Ciara song, level up, right? Well, I wanted to create the level up method when it came to growing and scaling your tax and bookkeeping business. So the very first thing that I firmly believe in is learn, right? So in the level up method, the very first L is learn. And so here's what I want you to know. You might be in 1 or 2 scenarios. So I typically get newbies to come my way, people that have no experience with taxes or bookkeeping, and they're just getting started. Okay. So if you are a newbie, go ahead and learn the basics of tax law, right? And tax preparation and the basics of bookkeeping. That's all you need to know. And because clients always tell me, well, Krista, don't I need to become an EA? No, you don't need to become an EA to start getting clients. All I want you to do, if you are new, completely new to this industry, is just learn the basics. Write that down. Once you know the basics, I want you to go out and immediately start your marketing and start getting clients. Okay, we're going to talk about some marketing strategies in just a few. Now, if you are experienced, if you already have been, serving tax and bookkeeping clients, here's what I want you to do. I want you to increase your skills, right? So now is the time to start learning tax planning, okay, CFO services, tax resolution. I want you to start learning higher value services because guess what? There's a lot more people getting into the tax game. You guys agree with that? There's a lot more people getting into taxes because they see that it's a needs-based business. They can see it's recession-proof, and they can see that they can work from home, growing this business. Now, those that are experienced, I need you guys to go a step up. I need you guys to constantly be increasing your skill set so that you can start to attract better paying clients. Okay, better paying clients. So we can go from a newbie, you guys as a newbie, you guys can make $50,000 to $100,000, okay, in the first, I would say at least 18 months. As an experienced professional, you guys should be scaling past $250,000 plus, right? You guys should be between $250,000 and $500,000 in revenue right now. If this is not you yet and you have experience, it's only because you haven't started to increase your skills. It's only because you haven't started to learn how to do a tax plan, right? We're going to talk about some pricing for these services too. You haven't learned CFO services, right? Tax resolution, and you need to. Okay. So the fastest way to learn and become one of the best is to specialize in a niche. Okay. How many of you guys heard me say that before? I feel like a broken record sometimes when I say a niche. Guys, the reason why is because when you specialize in a niche, listen, you become a subject matter expert. Some niches that you can specialize in are real estate investors, okay, construction companies, e-commerce sellers, cannabis, trucking companies, okay? Like when you specialize, you are going to set yourself apart from the competition. Can we agree? So if I'm looking at two people's social media profiles, let me give you a prime example. If I'm looking at two people's social media profiles and one of them says that they are the best for real estate investors for taxes and bookkeeping, and all their content on their page is dedicated towards the real estate investor industry, right? Giving them tax tips and tools and all that good stuff. And then I have just a generalist tax pro over here that's just saying that they get the biggest refund. They, you know, they do fast work, right? They're talking really generic over here. If I have real estate investors that are now looking at my page, which one of these profiles would that real estate investor hit up for help, for services? Well, are they going to go with the generalist that is just saying biggest refund, come to me? Or are they going to go with the tax pro that says that they're the best at real estate investors with their taxes and bookkeeping, and they post great content for the real estate investor industry? Which one are real estate investors going to hit up? Now, listen, there's over 22 million real estate investors in the United States. You only need 15, 20 of them as a bookkeeping, CFO, tax planning client to make six figures. You only need about 50 of them to make six figures on the tax side, because listen, we charge, and we'll get into pricing in a second, but we don't just charge a few $100s for taxes. We're charging premium pricing because we are the best in these industries. So you guys see that when you are niche down, not only can you be discovered quicker, faster, more efficiently, but you're also able to charge more. Okay. So one of the sites that we recommend is Certifiable. So Certifiable is where you can actually grab higher value training. So this virtual CFO course in here, I actually created this course. Okay. So this virtual CFO course, the majority of this course is done by me. It has a 5-star review, and you can actually get it for 50% off. So I'm going to tell you guys the code. The code is Krista, right? You type in Krista, apply, and it'll give you 50% off. But CFO services, guys, you can start at $2,000 a month for CFO services, right? So if you already know bookkeeping, you need to be offering business mapping, forecasting cash flow, key performance indicators, right? You need to be helping your clients interpret and advise on their financial statements, running trends analysis. So if all of this is sounding foreign to you, you need this course, right? Go ahead and get 50% off, because when you offer these higher value services, you're able to charge so much more money. And when you do, you can actually scale to $250,000, $500,000 a lot faster, right? Because a bookkeeping client, we're charging between $500 and $1,000. A CFO client, we're charging $2,000, $2,500 per month. How many of you guys would love to charge? Like, first of all, some of you said that you want to make an extra $50,000 this year. Well, listen, you will only need 5 clients, 5 CFO clients. You'll make about $12,500 a month, right? By the end of this year, you'll make well over an additional $50,000 just going after 5 CFO clients this year. How many of you guys are confident in yourselves? If real estate investors were your niche, how many of you guys are confident that you could get Out of the 22 million, 5 clients this year. So I'm gonna tell you guys something interesting. So I do case studies every Friday to my community, and today we talked about OnlyFans and sugar baby, sugar daddy tax treatments as a fun case study today. So that's what you're seeing on my screen now, that keep popping up. I did that into our community earlier today. So let me get this out the way. There we go. All right. So the fastest way to learn and become the best is to niche down, guys. I need you to niche down. So here's some other benefits for you of niching down. One, confidence, right? When you have already geeked out on a particular industry, on their tax law, on the best strategies for them, on the best accounting and bookkeeping strategies, as well as tax, you're going to be more confident. And I hear it time and time again. People say, Krista, well, I don't feel confident to go after these clients. And I'm like, well, are you niche down? No, that's why, right? When you niche down and when you actually just geek out, listen, your confidence skyrockets because you now know that you know all of the strategies. The second thing, you're able to charge more. I've already said that. And then 3, you're able to scale a lot faster. When clients niche down, listen, I see clients all the time that actually make the decision to niche down and they stay consistent. These folks always get to $15,000 months. And I'm not talking about tax season money, guys. I'm talking about CFO services, tax planning, tax resolution. They always are able to scale to multiple 6 figures. Okay. So I need you guys to get serious with your knowledge, right? Go ahead and increase your skill so that you can start providing more value and you can therefore charge a higher rate. All right. Number 2 is e-services. So working virtually, you want to be able to onboard any type of client from anywhere around the world. Like in the past, you guys saw, like I had to go out and get a storefront. Who here has a storefront now? Right? Type of just type store in the chat for me. If you got a storefront, listen, that's what I thought I had to do. I thought I had to go out, pay somebody $900, $1,000, $1,500 per month, plus utilities in order to start this business. And honestly, guys, that is further from the truth. We've been teaching building a virtual business for almost 3 years now. COVID really just now opened other people up to working virtually. There was still a lot of tax and accounting pros that was still trying to have a brick and mortar office. You don't need a brick and mortar office. Now, I tell folks, if you do want one, go ahead and get a co-working space, right? You don't have to pay $1,000 a month when you can just pay $250 a month for a co-working space. But here's what I want you to know. Even if you have a co-working space, I need you to be growing your business virtually because that's where it's at, guys. That's where it's at. And to be able to work with anybody around the country is so powerful because before I was limited to my little Detroit area, right? My little 5-mile radius. I was limited to 6 mile, 7 mile, 8 mile, and 9 mile. That was it. Okay. Now, listen, we got clients in New York, California, Florida, Pennsylvania, right? Georgia, all over the place. Now we got clients in different countries. And this is how my clients are growing it too. Julia, one of the young ladies that I've been telling you guys about tonight, her first client lived in Honduras. He was an e-commerce business. He had US income because of his Amazon sales, and he sold in the US. He needed a bookkeeper for his US income. He needed a tax preparer for his US income. So she would have never gotten that person who lived in Honduras as her first bookkeeping client to pay her $500 a month without social media, without being virtual. This is what I'm telling you guys. You need to start growing virtually. Now, the old way, we had to meet physically with every last person. Okay. And listen, I love all my clients. There might be some clients watching this or might even catch the replay. I love seeing you guys in person. I loved it back in the day. Because we used to talk, we used to get caught up, we used to spill tea to each other about how our year went, right? Like, girl, let me tell you what happened to me last year, right? It was fun. It was fun. But guess what? I remember sitting there and looking over to my lobby and seeing 10 people waiting for me. And I would get anxiety, like, oh my God, I got to hurry up and prepare this tax return so the next person can sit down, and then the next person, and then the next person, and then the next person, right? That's not how you want to do it, guys. You want to have 10 clients in a queue in your online system waiting for you, not physically waiting for you, right? I tell people, my kids, I used to put them in daycare during tax season because it was just too hard for, for me to keep up with them if I didn't. And I would have to leave out at 3 o'clock every day to go pick up my daughter from school and to go pick up my son from daycare. And I would have to close my tax office, right? Because guess what? My cousins and my brother had kids too. So they had to leave to go pick up their kids, right? So we all had to leave, lock up the door, go grab our kids, right? Go wait in McDonald's line for 30 minutes. Okay. Who else in a city, their McDonald's line is like 20 minutes long, right? Go wait at McDonald's, rush back to the office. Every time I would come back, it would be 3, 4, 5 cars in a parking lot waiting for me. And I used to be like, oh my God, this is so unprofessional, right? The fact that I had to leave out, go get my kids and come back and have clients that were trying to get their taxes done waiting for me. Listen, we don't want that anymore, guys. All of my clients are working from home, or they're like, my Cherie, she called me. She was like, listen, I went to Mexico for a week. I was like, you was in Mexico? It didn't even feel like she was in Mexico, right? Because she was still posting consistently, right? Because she got systems set up for that. She was still getting clients left and right. She was still onboarding clients. You know what I'm saying? So you guys want to be able to be anywhere with Wi-Fi, right? With a strong internet connection and make money. And tax and accounting would allow you to do that, to work virtually. Okay. So this is the new way, guys, working with clients from all over the country and even world. And you're not limited to how many clients you can onboard. Listen, when you work virtually, you can literally help 30 people in a day or 40 people in a day. You'll be hard pressed to service 50 tax clients in one day that you had to physically sit down and do their taxes for. You'll be physically pressed to do that. But you definitely can do that at home. You can onboard 30 clients right now, right? And you have more control over your time. So you craft when you do your work. So if you want to block out time to spend with your children, do that. If you want to block out time to take a vacation or to go on date night with your spouse or your significant other, you can do that. If you want to do taxes at 3 a.m. on your couch, eating a pint of ice cream, you can do that because you are working virtually. Okay. So we do this with Onboardable. Okay. So let me show you how Onboardable works for those that are new to it. So what Onboardable does, it allows you to grow your virtual tax and accounting firm with one solution. So if you want to sign up for a free 14-day trial, you can go ahead and do so. But here's what you're going to be able to do. You're going to be able to onboard your clients anytime, any day. Okay. So you're going to have your dashboard. And what I love is that when you go to your client management, you're going to get your self-onboarding link right here. So I'm going to copy this URL. Now, what I can do, I can go to my Facebook page right now, and I can log out of Onboardable. And what I can do is I can make a post right now and get a bookkeeping client or a tax client or a PPP client or whatever, right? So I can say something like, hey, let's say, hey, Facebook fam, we are helping 10 clients All right, so what I'm going to say is, hey, Facebook fam, we are helping 10. So let's put a niche right here. So let's say we are helping 10 real estate investors or agents pay the least amount of taxes with strategic tax planning strategies. I can say something like the average investor agent saves $25,000. Click here by Sunday at midnight to sign up for free. And I can put my link, right? And then what I can do is I can go ahead and customize this to a GIF, make it fun. All right, so let's choose a GIF and let's see if we can Google some money. And let's do this one, right? So boom. So it says, hey, Facebook fam, we are helping 10 real estate investors or agents pay the least amount of taxes with strategic tax planning strategies. The average investor agent saves $25,000. Click here by Sunday at midnight to sign up for free. And then what I'll do is I want to actually make sure that I qualify them, because I only want to work with certain people at this point in my life, right? I want to work with people that when I tell them it's $2,500 for my tax plan, they say, okay, right? So I can say we are helping 10 real estate investors or agents who make at least $250,000 per year. There we go. Pay the least amount of taxes with strategic planning strategies, right? Boom. So this is how I create content, right? And then I am being strategic about it because I'm actually kind of weeding people out, right? I don't want the new real estate investor or agent to come to me. Okay. I want to work with people that make over at least 250,000, because right now I'm trying to sell a tax plan. At this point, I'm trying to sell a $2,500 tax plan to about, let's just say my goal is 10 people at $2,500. So I want to make $25,000 with this post, right? I want to call in 10 new people that make at least 250 and help them save on average $25,000 in taxes. Okay. And I'm giving them a deadline by increasing their urgency, right? People need to be told when to act and how soon to act, or they won't act. Okay. Like you have to tell people what action you want them to take. And then I put a little GIF on here to increase the algorithm, right? Because I want Facebook to show this to as many people as possible. So if I put something engaging on here, like a GIF like this, that's funny and cute, it's going to reach more people, because more people it's going to catch their attention. So I'm going to get more likes, I'm going to get more comments and shares, and more people are going to click on this link to check it out. Okay. So this is what I would post. As soon as they click on my link, it's going to take them to my virtual onboarding practice. It's going to say register for Chris Tatius and Associates. And then they're going to come in here, register for tax planning. Okay. Once they do, they're going to be let into their own portal. Okay. So I'm going to sign in as a client right here. And then boom. So once they're in here, they're going to scroll to their tax planning service that they signed up for. They're going to fill out the questionnaire, right? Which you guys can customize yourself, all the questionnaires. They're going to submit this questionnaire to my firm. After they submit the questionnaire, they're going to upload any documents I need from them. And then that's it. And so what's going to happen is I'm going to get notified every time a person signs up with my link. And now what I'm going to do is, because I already have this person in my system, I'm going to reach out to them to say, hey, Dan, I see that you just signed up for tax planning services. Congratulations. We'd love to have a quick 20-minute strategy session to really understand where you're at in your business so we can ensure that we save you the most amount of taxes, right? Once I go through my strategy session, I'm going to send him a bill, and all those bills are going to come up under here that they can pay for, right? So let's just say this was our tax planning bill right here for $500, right? They'll get that bill that they can go ahead and pay, right? Pay using their previous card, pay for those services. But this is how you want to get people in here. So I showed this to my client for tax season. They made a post like this, and there was a lot of clients that got 20, 30, 40, 50 new tax clients this year because they made posts like this, right? So you can consistently make posts like this and say, hey, if you still haven't filed your taxes, I can help you. You can sign up by Friday at midnight for $100 off, right? Pop your link in here and let them go ahead and sign up to your firm. So you could do this for any type of service. You just got to think about like, okay, well, what services do I want to offer? Okay. All right. So let me log out of here and then let me go back to the presentation. All right. So Onboarded will let you manage all your clients. You can ask for e-signatures. You can chat with clients. You can send and get paid. You can manage your workflow and all your tasks, right? And you can manage your team. So go ahead and get that free 14-day trial right there. All right. So the V in the level of method is value consulting services. Value consulting services. So now we're going to get into the higher value services that I want you guys to start offering in your business. So first things first, adding high value services to scale to $250,000 is going to help you get there faster and more efficiently, right? So let's look over my pricing strategy. So you can go ahead and write this down or you can screenshot it. But my pricing strategy is as follows. Tax preparation, we price per form. Okay, so that means based upon the complexity of the tax that you're doing, we charge per form. So if they have a Schedule A, you have a price for Schedule A. If you're populating Schedule C, bam, it's a price for Schedule C. If you're populating Schedule E, it's a price for Schedule E. So once you add up all your schedules and your and any other maybe due diligence questions that you had to ask, anything that you're charging for within a tax preparation process, you're going to be charging a fee for. So at the end, your tax software is going to tally up that amount, and that's how much you're going to charge your client. So we base it on value, right? How complex the tax return is. Most tax softwares allows you to go ahead and customize your pricing per form strategy. So go ahead and update that for this year going into next year. And we typically update it around December where we update our pricing schedules. We do start off our corporate tax returns at a minimum of $1,000. So if you are filing an 1120S, which is for S Corps, or an 1120, which is for regular corporations, or partnership return, and you're charging less than $1,000, I need you to get it up. Okay. Hashtag get it up. Okay. I need you to get it up. Some of you guys are only charging $300 for a corporate return or $400 for a corporate return. And I'm sorry, that's just too low. Right? When you are an expert, when you are niched down, you shouldn't have no problem charging a minimum of $1,000 for a corporate return. Okay. And our Schedule C returns typically start off at $600. So I need you guys to get that up. Okay. So if you have a Schedule C client come in, I would love for you guys to have a minimum price of at least $500 to $600 for that client. Okay, for that client. And that's not any additional schedules that they might have, right? So if, like I said, if they have, maybe they have dozens of rental property, you're going to charge that extra fee for Schedule E to populate that. Now, bookkeeping, we price $500 for every $500,000 in revenue. And this is just a base price, okay? So what that means is if you have a company that comes to you needing bookkeeping services, you're going to charge $500 if they make upwards to $500,000 in revenue. Now, if you have a client that, let's just say, you know, they only make like less than 100K, then listen, you can do one-off services for them. If they cannot afford to pay $500 a month, I do not want you doing bookkeeping for $50, right? That is not, just because they can't afford it doesn't mean that you have to therefore drop your prices so drastically where it's not even profitable for you to do that job. What I want you to do instead is to provide a la carte services, which means, well, maybe you can help set them up with QuickBooks. Maybe you can teach them how to do their own bookkeeping, right? This is where you pull in those a la carte services for a fee if these folks cannot afford to pay you at least $500 a month. Now, the lowest I would go, guys, on bookkeeping is $350. And that's for the client, like I said, that probably only makes upwards to 100K. Only upwards, but I would not go below that. You got to have a bottom line somewhere. Okay. Now, number 3, CFO services. Now, I was telling you guys, listen, CFO service game changer. Like a lot of my clients are booking CFO clients for at least $2,000 to $2,500 per month. Listen, one client, $2,500 per month, that's $30,000 a year for one client. That's somebody's job right now. If you get one CFO client, someone on here can quit their job. I know I could have. If when I was working my job, I could have quit my job if I would have got one CFO client in. Now, imagine if you got 2 clients in, that's $60,000 a year. That's $5,000 a month. Who here can be okay with $5,000 a month? Where that'll pay your rent, that'll put food on the table. You won't have to rob Peter to pay Paul. You know what I'm saying? Like $5,000 a month for most people is comfortable, outside of some folks that might be in California or New York. Okay. $5,000 for most people is comfortable. So listen, CFO services, is a beautiful service because you're helping people with strategy. And I think now more so than ever, especially since COVID happened, there's a lot of businesses with EIDL and PPP funding. So what that means is not only do they have the resources to pay you, but they also need the knowledge and the information on how they can be strategic about that money, right? How they can not just blow through it, but how can they deploy it effectively that's actually going to provide them a return. Okay, so you as a CFO, you can go in and offer this service to all of the, it's been millions of businesses that have gotten hundreds of thousands of dollars in PPP and EIDL funding. You right now more than ever, guys, it's easier to sell a tax plan and to sell CFO services at this point because a lot more people have money. Listen, don't let COVID fool you. People out here got some money, okay? The government has been good to everyone. And so I need you guys to go out and provide that value, tell them how you can help them, and go ahead and start closing these clients. Now is a beautiful time to help them with these strategies. Number 4 is tax resolution. So tax resolution cases typically start at $2,500 per case, right? And this is for cases typically under $25,000. So unfortunately, and fortunately for you, it's a bittersweet situation. There's a lot of people that did not pay estimated taxes. They grew really fast in 2020, right? A lot of people capitalized on the pandemic and made a lot of money last year. Unfortunately, a lot of those folks did not set aside money for the IRS for their tax obligations. You, as a person that understands tax resolution that can help these people, the IRS is going to start sending out notices. They start ramping up after August. This is going to be prime opportunity for you guys to understand and learn how to sell these services. A lot of these people are going to be owing over $10,000 to the Internal Revenue Service, and not even counting the state, right? There's a lot of people that's going to owe their state money. So this is going to be a prime opportunity for a lot of you guys to make an additional $50,000, $75,000, $100,000 just offering tax resolution. Tax planning, okay? Again, a lot of people grew fast and they were in the wrong entity. They were a Schedule C, right? A lot of people out here are making a lot of money still on Schedule C because they grew fast. They weren't expecting or anticipating the growth. So you as a professional that understands tax planning, well, you can help them look at, well, what's the best entity structure to be in, right? Should they be an S Corp? And if they are, and if they should, what are the pros and cons, right? What would their tax liability be? Should they be a corporation? Again, what are the pros and cons, right? So tax planning is where you're actually looking at, credits, deductions, structuring activities. You're looking at entity election to help your clients pay the least amount of taxes. This can start off at $2,500. And there's a lot of people, like I said, that is making a lot of money right now that owes the IRS $10, $20, $30, $40, $50,000. You think that they don't want to pay you $2,500 for you to properly structure them so that they can pay or even save $10,000, right? It's an investment. They pay you $2,500. You help them in turn save $15,000, right? That's the value exchange there. So tax planning is a beautiful strategy to start offering in your firm right now. The last one is capital consulting. Now, a lot of you guys have already been providing this service, which is exciting because I think PPP and EIDL really opened up this opportunity for you guys to even help people obtain funding, right? How many of you guys help people obtain funding this year? When you help people obtain funding, you're pretty much just advocating on their behalf for funding options, right? So a lot of you were applying for PPP for your clients. You were applying for EIDL. You were helping them navigate that process because they didn't know how to do it, right? This is a beautiful business model to charge, right? One of my clients, he told me a few weeks ago, he was like, he closed over $40,000 during tax season helping people apply for PPP. I was like, wow, like, that's amazing. That's amazing. Yeah, Dan says he did over 70 PPP applications. Right, Dan? So it's like, this could be an additional revenue builder for you where you can make an additional $50,000 to $100,000 this year. And so here's what I want you to know. I want you guys to be inspired to go after bigger goals, right? So a lot of you popped in the chat 50,000, 100,000, 250,000, right, for your goals. But look at here. If you stack your services right, You only need about, less than 150 clients to make $500,000. Now, some of you guys got 150 clients and you only made $30,000 this year so far because you're not priced right. You're not going after the right type of business or the right type of client, and you're not providing high value services, right? And this was me, right? I had over 350 clients and was still on a struggle bus because I was going after the mom who had kids who was claiming EIC. Like, that's not as profitable, right? Like if I have a mom that's claiming EITC, I'm only going to charge her probably on average between $300 and $400. But if I have an S corp, I'm going to start off at $1,000, and I'm going to still charge that person for their individual tax return, which is going to be another $300 to $400. So one client on the business side is $1,400 in income, whereas if I go after just the individual, like I said, the EIC client with the children, the mom and pop, I'm only charging them $400. So I'm literally making 10 times more money by going after a business client, doing the corporate returns, and then also doing their individual tax return. Okay, so that's how I want you guys to start off at. Now, there's a lot of my clients, they're charging $1,500, $2,000 for taxes on the corporate side. And if that is unheard of to you, if you've never heard someone charge that amount for a business corporate return, this is why I'm here, because I want to bring you to this new world of how you should be charging on value. Because look at it, we are experts, right? So for instance, going back to my real estate example, if I'm an expert in real estate tax law and helping real estate investors strategically save the most amount of money, why wouldn't I start off at $1,500 for my tax return? Or why wouldn't I start off at $2,500 for my tax return? The real estate investor that I'm going after, they make $500,000, they make $1 million, they have a portfolio of over $20 million in real estate assets. People that make money want to work with people that are experts, right? They want to work with subject matter experts, and they pay for value. People that are making $500,000 plus, they pay for value. They pay for people to help them pay the least amount strategically, right? They pay to move faster, to move more efficiently. Now, all you have to do is just increase your skills and get your pricing up. Now, don't increase your skills and still have these low prices, guys. Okay. Like, write that down. Don't go through all this education, buying all these courses, getting all these certifications if you still going to charge $200 for bookkeeping or $400 for a corporate return. But we can see here, if we stack our services, we can easily scale to $500,000 in revenue with just 150 clients. Again, all of our niches are huge. The real estate industry, 22 million. The trucking industry, over 1 million truck drivers in the United States, right? The gig economy, another 20 million in the gig economy, right? People driving for Uber, for Lyft, for DoorDash. I mean, it's a lot of people in these niches. So you don't have to worry about competition. You don't have to worry about, because there's not one person that can dominate one entire industry. The key here is you want to become a subject matter expert, price on value. Okay. Now, I just want to quickly explain some of these services to you. Tax resolution, for those that are new to it, is just where you help people resolve their debt with Internal Revenue Service or the state and local agencies, right? You can help them do an offer in compromise. You can help them get on an installment agreement, or you can put them on currently not collectible. Tax planning is all about entity election, structuring activities, credits, and deductions. CFO services mainly is about business strategy, growth, and KPIs. Capital consulting is helping business owners source capital loans and grants. And this became popular out of COVID. Okay. So you can leverage software. So obviously software just makes our lives so much more easier, right? Like right now I'm on Zoom right now. I love Zoom. When you leverage software, you're able to just move a lot faster. So ProLendly is a loan management platform. So if you do want to help people get loans, even after COVID and PPP and EIDL, you can do that with ProLendly. So for instance, when clients come in here, it's actually going to match your client to loan providers, right? So we got this fake client in here, Homes by Harold, right? Homes by Harold wants $25,000 for working capital. He has a FICO score of 640. He's been in business for 5 years. He has an annual revenue of $750,000. ProLendly is going to give you the top 5 recommendations for this person of where they can apply for funding, right? You can also put in your own funding options in here as well. So you apply on behalf of your client for capital consulting, for funding options. So we can help Harold or anyone get the money that they need to survive and thrive in their business, right? And ProLendly will help you do that. So it's very similar to where you get your own invite new client, right? I can take, not invite new client, I can take my actual invitation link right here. I can copy it. Let me log out. And then again, I can go to Facebook and I can say something like, hey, Facebook fam, we are helping 10 real estate investors secure upwards to, let's just say $100,000 in loans for working capital. If you need support, click here to get started with our firm, right? And I can put my ProLendly, and then let's change out the GIF for that. Let's do another money GIF. Let's find somebody else. These money gifts are hilarious. So let's do Dave Chappelle, right? So boom, I says, hey, Facebook fam, we are helping 10 real estate investors secure upwards to $100,000 in loans for working capital. If you need support, click here to get started with our firm. Bam. Then I'm putting my link right here for them to get started. Now, when they click on my link, this is where it's going to take them. It's going to take them to my capital consulting firm for them to sign up for services, right? So they're going to enter in their first name, last name, then they're going to log in, put in all of their details, like how much money they need, all their application details. And then when I get into my ProLendly system, it's already going to match my client with the top 5 loan recommendations. Okay. So ProLendly does the work for you, right? There are over 5,000 financial institutions just in the United States that lends money, right? We can't possibly know which ones are the best ones to get money from, right? And I know if you guys ever been on a search for funding, you know, getting declined sucks. So what ProLendly does, it matches your clients with business loan providers that are more likely to lend to them, right? We're just helping your clients increase their chances of getting funding options, right? And you can help them do that and get paid doing that. Okay. So a lot of my clients, they typically charge between $100 and like $500 for this service. So if we get 10 people in right now, let's just say we split the difference at $250. Well, we get 10 people in right now. Well, we just made an extra $2,500 today, right? Just by posting this on Facebook. Now, I guarantee you, you post something like this on Facebook, you'll probably get way more hits than that. But it's profitable and you're actually helping people obtain funding that they really need for their business to survive and thrive. You can even parlay this into credit repair, right? So if you have people coming in here, they have areas of opportunities where they don't have a business paydex score, or if they have a low FICO score, you can actually sell them credit repair opportunities, right? Because you're collecting this information on the back end, okay? So ProLendly is a great software to help you still offer business capital, business consulting services. All right, rounding out this. So let's transition into the earn method, right? So we're continuing on our level of method. We're almost rounding out to our 5 methods right now. So hang in there with me. So method number 4 is earn, okay? Now this is where we really start to get into the nitty gritty of marketing. So first things first is paid marketing. Yes, you can do Facebook ads, you can do marketplaces, you can do Instagram ads, right? You can also do what I like to call organic marketing. Organic marketing is where you use attraction marketing and expert marketing. And this is what I really love to geek out on with my clients is organic marketing methods, okay? Now with paid marketing, yes, you can scale a lot faster, you can reach more people, but let's be clear. In order to really be successful at paid campaigns, you need to have some money to do that. I would not recommend anyone advertising with Facebook and Instagram unless you have at least $1,000 to play with. That's just to test out your ads. When it comes to ads on Facebook and Instagram, you got to test it out, right? Most people think that just boosting a post for $5 or $10 or running a campaign for $5 a day is going to do something. It doesn't. A lot of people, Facebook makes billions of dollars from unsuspecting business owners like you and I that pay them $5 to $10 a day for Facebook and Instagram ads that do not do anything for us, right? One, we don't have a strategy. Two, we're not paying enough, right? You guys need to know something that's called a cost to acquire a client, right? So what is your client acquisition cost? It might cost you $300 just to acquire one client, but you never would have known that because you're only spending $5 a day. And after 2 weeks, you turned off your ads. So I know all about paid marketing because we spent well over $100,000 on paid marketing activities. It's an art to it, right? It's an art to it. It's a process to it. I don't recommend it for new people that are just starting off, that don't have a strategy and you don't have someone to teach you how to do it. I would not do pay ads unless I actually learned from someone who had already done it successfully. Okay. Now, what I want you to know about organic strategies, all those people that I've been showing you earlier today, and we have over 250 testimonials from business clients from all over the world that have affirmed to us that they got their first client with these strategies. They made their first $5,000 month, their first 10K month, their first 15K month with these strategies that I'm going to teach you right now, right? So it's proof. I'm even proof that you don't need to spend money to make money. You just need to show up. You need to put in what we call sweat equity. So you can do check equity, right? Which is you're going to pay Facebook and Instagram to advertise for you, or you're going to do sweat equity and you're going to show up on social media strategically and get clients that way. Okay. So let's talk about this sweat equity. My sweat equity strategy is called ACE, right? It's A for attract, C for connection call, and E for engage. So this is our process for organic marketing. Now, I do this in two different ways. One is my hunting. The second is my farming. Okay. Now, my hunting methodology is where we go out, we find our ideal clients online. Okay. So our LinkedIn strategy, I'm looking for, let's just say on this screenshot right here, I was looking for CEOs of charter schools. So let's just say charter schools is your niche, which is a beautiful niche, by the way. There's over 96,000 at the time when I searched this, it's probably more by now, but there were over 96,000 results for CEOs of charter schools, right? So this is how you find your people. Birds of a feather flock together, right? So if I wanted to find any particular type of person, I just need to know who I'm looking for in order to find them. So this is the other thing about having a niche, guys. It makes your marketing strategy so much more laser targeted, right? Because if I was just a generalist, if I was just trying to go after anybody, listen, I'll be lost. I wouldn't know who to search for right now. I wouldn't know where to find them. But because I am specialized, because I do have a niche, because I am a subject matter expert, now I know exactly where to find my people, right? Same thing with Facebook. So Facebook strategy, we find our people on Facebook. So again, let's just say my niche was real estate investors. Boom. I have a local group called the Metro Detroit Real Estate Investors Group that has over 6,000 people in it. If I did my math and I'm looking to sell bookkeeping services at $1,000 a month and I want to make $10,000 a month, well, listen, I only need 10 clients, right? Do you think I can get 10 clients out of this 6,200 group that's local to me? Probably, right? Probably, especially when you have a strategy that I teach, especially when you have scripts and training that I teach, right? You're more than able to do it. Okay. Now, our second piece of strategy is farming. This is where we show up on video, right? How many of you guys have actually done video? How many of you guys have actually done video? Type a one in the chat if you actually have done some video content. Now, let's go to my YouTube page, right? So if we go to YouTube, and let me go back here. So let's go to my YouTube page, okay? And we go to my actual page. You are going to see that I have only about 65 videos, which is not a lot, guys. It is not a lot. That is pathetic. I'm sorry. Has 65 videos. Over the past 30 days, I've had over 11,000 views. And my lifetime views is around 215,000, right? So 215,000 people have laid eyes on my content, right? And content is such a beautiful way to get people's attention, to build up know, like, and trust. Who here Because you're watching this on a video, right? Because I was about to say, who here found me from a video, but that's going to be obvious because all of you guys that are here are watching this video right now live. Okay, so even if I was to go to Facebook, right? So all I do is distribute all of my content online, right? So if I post something on YouTube, I'm gonna go ahead and post the same thing on Facebook, right? So if you go to my Facebook page, boom, all my videos are on here as well. Same thing with Instagram, right? So if we go to one, like if let's just say we went to one of my most successful clients, clients, right? So let me go to her page really quick. And so you guys can see. All right. So boom. So this is my Cherie. When my Cherie started work with me, she told me she had only made like $13,000 for the whole year. Now she's at $30,000 a month. Okay. I want you to notice something. One, she has a niche, right? Trucking companies, 7 figures, right? Then if you go to her IGTV, boom, look at all these videos, right? That she does for her niche, right? So video content is going to help position you as a subject matter expert. This is what we definitely teach in our program. Not only do we teach you our hunting methodology where we go after our ideal clients, but we also teach you how to become a subject matter expert, how to do your videos. We teach you what types of content to do videos on. We teach you what subjects, right? What titles you should have. We even go through exactly how you should structure your videos, right? Because it's an art and science to this. And so if you are not willing to, one, talk to people on Facebook and LinkedIn, and two, show up on video, then listen, the remainder of this training is not for you. Go ahead and drop off now, because this is how we are strategically growing our tax and bookkeeping business, right? Using social media. So my Cherie actually posted this in our Facebook group. She says, listen, y'all, I trust the process. It works. Thank you, Krista. So this lady slid in her DM, right? And this was over a year ago when my Cherie posted this. But this lady was like, hello, my Cherie, my name is Melody, and I'm convinced that you are the right person to file my taxes. When would be a good time to speak tomorrow? Right? Like, that's crazy. This lady did not know my Cherie, never met her in her life, is across the country. But because my Cherie was showing up on social media the way that I taught her, this lady reached out to her and was like, hey, I need you to file my taxes. I'm already convinced that I need to pay you money, right? And now my Cherie is to the point where she gets messages like this several times a day, right? Where people, truck drivers from all over the country is saying, hey, I need you to file my taxes. Hey, I need bookkeeping from you. Hey, I need CFO service from you. Because she did the work over the past year and a half. She showed up for herself. She stayed consistent. Now she's able to go to Mexico when her business runs. Now she's able to have a beautiful baby, right? She just had, I believe, her 4th child, right? And her business is still running. Her business is still making money because she laid a very solid foundation. She started and she stayed consistent. Okay. So that's the attraction method. You guys need to be willing to at least go after your ideal clients. You need to put yourself out there. We give you all the scripts, all the techniques that you need to do that. But you also need to be willing to get on video. How many of you guys, be real with me? Okay. Type it in the chat. How confident are you on a scale of 1 through 10 on getting on video and presenting information to your niche community? On a scale of 1 through 10, go ahead and type it in the chat, okay? So I can see this chat light up, okay? Because you guys are real quiet right now, but let me see. Okay. All right. So let's go to connection call. So we're using social media to get people on the phone. So here's what Deja posted. She said 70 friend requests, 100 messages, 30 connection calls. So far, I got 3 bookkeeping clients, 10 new tax clients, 2 financial coaching and tax prep. I did 2 live videos and I was terrified to do it before. And I booked 4 calls from my Facebook live videos, right? She says, no business cards, no flyers, no paid advertising, all organic growth from the program. Right? So boom. So these strategies are beautiful, guys, to position you to get clients. One of these strategies is you going after, you pulling in the clients. The other one is you showing up and you letting the clients come to you. Okay. You're letting the clients come to you. So let's see what you guys are saying. So one of you guys says a 0. Adriana says you're 8. Okay. Adriana is definitely ready. Jay says 1.5. Josh says 8. Jerika says 5 to 6. Okay. Nelly says 3. Okay. No worries. You guys aren't that bad. Okay. But listen, it helps when you already have a strategy, right? When you know what to say on your videos, when you know how to show up, when you know how to communicate, trust me, it's a walk in the park. Now it's just about repetition and doing it consistently. All right, last part in this ACE methodology is engage. Okay, so here's what's going to happen. We're using social media. We're going after our ideal clients. We're finding them online and we're reaching out to them. We're getting them on the phone. We're also doing video. We're communicating to them and we're getting them on the phone, right? Once we get them on the phone, we're going to walk through a script. We're going to ask the right questions. We're going to walk through a process. We're going to make an offer, right? For them to get our help. Once you do that, one or two things is going to happen. One, they're going to say, awesome, you're amazing. I've been waiting for somebody like you. Let me sign up now. You're going to send them your engagement letter and you're going to onboard them. Okay. And we use onboardable for that too. The second thing that they might say is, no, I'm not ready right now. And that happens, right? So here are our stats. 1 in 5 people that we talk to become a client. Write that down. 1 in 5 people that we talk to. So if we get on the phone with 5 people this week, we are guaranteeing ourselves at least 1 client a week. That's what I want you guys to do. Most of my clients that are doing these strategies, they're booking out 5 to 10 calls per week and they're closing 1 to 2 clients per week. This is how I want you guys to be closing your clients. I need you to be closing CFO clients every week, bookkeeping clients every week, tax resolution, tax planning clients every single week, tax preparation, right? Every single week. When you do these strategies, you will make money every single week. And that's just 1 person a day, guys. Honestly, that's the bare minimum, is to talk to 1 new business owner, to a business owner to you, right? 1 business owner per day, Monday through Friday, right? I joke with my clients all the time that I give them the weekend off. They don't have to work on Saturday and Sunday if they don't want to, right? But Monday through Friday, I'm expecting you to talk to at least 1 new person per day. And every week you need to be making money. Every week you need to be closing a new client for a service offering, okay? Now, if they do tell you no, right? So we only have 1 person out of 5 that told us yes. The other 4 people said no, but guess what? That was a no right now. That wasn't a no forever. So what I need you to do is make sure that you follow up with these people, right? You put them on a follow-up campaign. I'll tell you guys something too that we teach in our program where we tell our clients we do what's called a follow-up Friday, right? Every Friday, we follow up with everybody that owes us money, said that they were going to become a client that didn't. We follow up with clients that still have to send over documents that we're still waiting on source documents for. We follow with everything that's still outstanding and pending on Fridays, right? 1 is easier to remember. 2, most people get money coming in on Friday, right? Most people run their payroll on Friday. So it's just a fitting day to just follow up, okay? So here is the entire marketing strategy that I teach guys. Hunting and farming, you're going to attract your ideal clients. You're going to hop on a connection call with them, right? You're going to walk through a proven script. You're going to be asking insightful questions. You're going to be gathering all the facts, and you're going to make an offer on the phone. You're going to make an offer on the phone. The last one is engage. So you're either going to send them an engagement letter and onboardable and have them sign, right? Have them e-sign and go ahead and send them their first invoice and get started. Or you're going to put them on a follow-up. You're going to engage and follow up. Now, most people need to follow up with prospects at least 7 to 9 times. Write that down. So don't just follow up with somebody 1 time and be like, oh, well, they don't want services. No, you need to be putting people on a campaign that touches them at least 7 to 9 times, right? And if you're friends with them on social media, even better, because when you do videos on social media, that's a touch. When they see you post content, great content on social media, that's going to be a touch. So we all do this strategically. It works as a perfect storm together. Okay. Now, the last part in this is just the sales piece, right? Because a lot of people think they're like, oh, Krista, well, I don't like being salesy. I don't like being salesy either. Okay. I don't like the always be closing mentality, right? Like Leonardo DiCaprio in The Wolf of Wall Street. Okay. We actually switched it, right, to always be connecting. And this is what I created called always be connecting. We build strategic connections with people. So we don't sell tax. We don't sell bookkeeping. We actually sell the results. We sell the problem that's being solved. We sell the desire that's wanting to be achieved to our ideal clients, right? So when you're doing your marketing, this is one of the things that I was telling you guys in the beginning, that I was just touting biggest refund, right? Come to Dynamite Tax, you're going to blow your refund up. Okay. I didn't have no niche. I was just looking at everybody else in the industry and copying off of them. What I found is that people have very specific problems that they are paying to alleviate, right? So your business clients, they have a financing problem, often pro-lending, right? Go through the capital consulting services with them. They have a debt problem. They have an expansion problem, right? They have a payroll problem, right? They have a cash flow problem. So all of this is like, these are very specific services that we can sell, right? If they have a payroll problem, boom, we can give them bookkeeping and payroll. If they have a cash flow problem, boom, we can give them CFO services, right? If they have an AR problem, again, bookkeeping, full charge bookkeeping, we can do CFO services. But the key here is that we are selling the problems that they have. We're not coming to the market to say, hey, I'm a bookkeeper. We're saying, no, we're saying, hey, you have cash flow problems. Let me help you track and measure your KPIs and create a budget and forecast for you so that you can make more money, right? So what I want you guys to just remember out of everything is really sell the problem being solved. You don't have to worry about being salesy or slimy or dreading sales, because you are genuinely telling people how you can help solve their problem. Okay. How you can help solve their problem. Now, this was a post that I put for a high value client, right? So it says, dental practice owners, learn how to increase your revenue without spending a dime on marketing, right? Click the link below to access the free training. Now, if you look at this ad, you wouldn't know that I was selling CFO services. Why? Because I'm not mentioning CFO services nowhere in this Facebook post. I said dental practice owners, niche, learn how to increase your revenue, something that they desire without spending a dime on marketing, right? So with CFO services, you can help people do this, right? You can help them track and measure certain KPIs that will help them increase their net profits, right? And a lot of businesses don't know how to strategically do this. They think that the only way to increase their net profit margins is to make more money. That's not the only way, right? There are very strategic ways on how they're structuring their cash flow, on how they're bringing in their AR, on how they are managing and paying their team that can actually bring in additional revenue. But only you as a CFO would actually know how to do that, right? They don't know how to do that. They aren't CFOs. So this is what I mean about selling the problem. You don't have to be salesy. I didn't come onto this post to say, hey, get your CFO services here. No, that wouldn't have gotten any attention, right? I said something that positioned it to, I'm solving a problem of theirs, right? So now let's talk about how to talk to potential clients from all over the country. So connection calls is where it's at, guys. You need to be hopping on the phone with people. You do this either with people that you know, right? Your sphere of influence, your existing clients are a great way to upsell, right? And then potential clients, people that you meet using social media. So if you are remotely interested in growing your business, you need to start talking to people. You need to be converting these people from social media to a phone call. Okay. So this is Avery. He posted this in our group. He said, have my first strategy session tonight and booked my first client. It's not in my niche, but who cares? Laughing out loud. I charged her $600 just to set up her QuickBooks and $600 monthly for basic bookkeeping. Okay. So shout out to Avery, right? But he got his first strategy session and he booked his first client on that first call. This is Jennifer. She posted, she was like, just booked my first strategy session. So excited, right? It's exciting booking calls with people that you don't know from all over the country using social media. This is Marlon. He said, hey, I got my first strategy session booked for today. Feels good. Marlon is crushing it right now, right? Marlon has several clients now that he's been able to book from social media. This is Julia. She says, hi guys, I just had a strategy session with a business owner with around 10 million in revenue. I didn't expect the business to be that large, right? So here's what I want you to know. When you are booking calls from social media, listen, you'll be talking to a completely brand new business owner 1 hour, and then within the next hour, be talking to someone with $5 million in revenue. So you need to be prepared because you don't know where people are at in their business, right? So you need to make sure you have a script. You need to make sure you know what questions to ask, even if you were to get on the phone with someone with $10 million in revenue, right? Because that can be pretty intimidating for a lot of tax and accounting pros to experience. This is Kenny. She says, I'm elated right now. My strategy session went well. Onboarded the client for tax prep and have to follow up call for bookkeeping cleanup and ongoing bookkeeping for my first niche client. So shout out to Kenny, right? So Facebook and LinkedIn has the most comprehensive targeting in the world, because people always ask me, well, Krista, well, what niche should I go after? Listen, go after the niche that you are interested in. Go after the niche that you are most passionate about, or the niche that you already know about. Okay, so those are my two strategies: either the niche that you are most passionate about, or the niche that you already have the most experience in. Okay, because whomever your ideal client, they're all on social media, right? You have back taxes, tax planning, tax resolution, small business clients, QuickBooks clients, right? They are all on Facebook and LinkedIn. So I typically like to play a little game, right? So we'll play it really quick. Okay, you guys ready for this quick game? I want you guys to tell me the most ridiculous niche that you could think of, and I guarantee you I can find them on social media. So go ahead and type it in the chat, the most ridiculous niche that you can think of, and I guarantee you that I will find that niche on social media. And give me some good ones, guys, too, okay? Give me some good ones. I want some good ones. I want something so ridiculous and crazy, okay? Go ahead, type it in the chat. What is the craziest industry that you can think of? Let's see. Let's see what you guys come up with. Come on, let's see what you guys come up with. The most craziest niche that you can think about. You said frisbees. Is that a niche, Dan? Is frisbee a niche, Dan? You said frisbees. Dan, I don't know if that's a niche, man. I meant like let's see. Listen, Dan, if that's a niche, I'ma laugh, okay? So it's 97,000 people with the last name Frisbee. So listen, if you wanted to go after clients with last name Frisbee, then 97,000 of them, okay, with businesses with Frisbee, right? So we got Frisbee painting, we got Frisbee's ice cream, we got Frisbee's lawn and landscaping, right? But I don't think that was a niche, okay? Oh, Dan says you met a guy that owned a frisbee company. Okay, well, that's interesting. Yeah, that's definitely interesting for sure. Jay says exterminators, right? So let's see, Jay. Let's see how many exterminators we have. Boom. So we got 32,000. Okay. So we got Bill. He's a president at B&R Exterminator, right? We got Shane. He's an exterminator at Pestores. We got Tim. He owns Crow's Exterminator Services, right? Boom. Here's our people here, right? So if you wanted to go after exterminators, you still got 32,000. Listen, again, you only need probably like 100, 150 of these folks to make six figures, okay? So no matter the industry, guys, the whole point is like, it doesn't matter what industry you go after, just stay consistent. Don't be what I call a niche hopper, okay? Hashtag niche hopper. Don't be that person that hops from one industry to the next. Try to focus on one particular industry that you want to geek out on, okay? So social media is just a tool that we use to get real clients from all over the country, right? So knowing how to use social media to attract your ideal clients, connect over the phone, engage them, right, with onboarding or engage in following up means you will never have to worry about going hungry again. You will never have to worry about where your next client is going to come from. Because at any given moment, you want to make more money, you're going to go out and you're going to know exactly how to find them. You're going to know exactly how to get them on a phone, and you're going to know exactly what to say when you get them on a phone that's going to convert them to a paid client. When you know this stuff, guys, it's priceless. You're going to be able to rinse and repeat this no matter what comes out, right? I don't care if Facebook goes out tomorrow. These strategies are timeless, okay? Now, when you're growing your business, you do want to start outsourcing, right? You want to start hiring people. You want to start investing in your workflows, okay? So you can get to 7 figures just with a few people on your team. All you need is an online business manager, right? Somebody to handle the back end of your business, right? And you need some outsourced tax and accounting pros, right? You get a few people preparing taxes for you, a few people to do the bookkeeping. I want you to leave this training knowing that you do not have to be the person doing the taxes. Can you write that down? You don't have to be the person doing the taxes or the bookkeeping. You can outsource this for pennies on the dollar to some very smart people. Okay. So, guys, we made it. Congratulations. Okay. We went through a lot of content. We've been rocking out tonight. Okay. And I want you guys to know, like I said, like I'm not special, guys. If I can do this, if I can change my life in 12 months and go from broke to just, well, I guess you would say from from zero to hero, right? You guys can do the exact same thing, right? Because I am not special. If I can do this stuff and if I can stay consistent, you guys can too. So I want you guys to start conceptualizing like what this would mean for you, right? What is an extra $75,000 right now? What would that mean for you and your business? What would an extra $10,000 a month mean for you and your family, right? So in order for you to really scale, you don't want to piece together or piecemeal all this stuff together and try to figure out the gaps, right? You want a proven strategy. You want somebody who has not only taught this stuff, but done it themselves. And that somebody is me. I have not only taught thousands of people this strategy, but I've actually done it myself. And we continue to use these strategies myself, right? So the quickest way to success, guys, is just to invest in mentorship. You want to learn from somebody who has actually done it. And that's the shortcut. That's the trick. That is the secret sauce that nobody is talking about, right? You can look at any successful person. They did not get there by themselves. They did not just struggle their way to success. No, they learned from someone. They finally got their act together and it was like, yo, teach me what I need to know so I don't have to keep bumping my head and making these mistakes, right? So mentorship from somebody who has a proven system and who has done it is going to be your quickest way to success, guys, right? So listen, you got two options right now in the next 5 minutes. You can either go at this alone, right? Spend a few $1,000s trying to figure this stuff out because you're like, okay, Krista gave me the overarching strategy. Well, let me go figure out the rest, right? You could do that, right? And be on the struggle bus, or you could just learn the whole system from me. Okay. Just get the step-by-step playbook, get the ABC 1, 2, 3, get all of the pieces in the middle. Cause there's a lot of pieces in the middle of all of this that you need to know. Right. So if option 2 sounds like you, I want to spend just a few minutes. Is that okay? Type in the chat if that's okay. If I could just spend a few minutes before we do some live Q&A, just giving you a way on how we can work together and how I can give you the proven strategy for this, right? So Nelly says, great discussion today. Thank you, Krista, for the jewels. Awesome, guys. All right, so let me introduce you to Tax and Accounting 6-Figure Accelerator. So this is my signature program, okay, that lays out everything that we just went over today, but in way more detail with step-by-step scripts, right? Step-by-step instructions and mentorship and coaching every single day. Okay. So here's what the timeline looks like. In week 1, we have your micro niche defined, your services and pricing crafted, and you're gearing up to get clients. In week 2, we have your marketing system and your virtual office set up and you're ready to put clients through. In week 3, we have your sales conversation master. So listen, I give you all the scripts, guys. When you get these people on the phone, you need a script. You need to know what to say, how to say it. You need to position your value. You need to know how to position your pricing so they don't be like, oh, that's too much, right? I give you all of that in this program. And in week 4, you're going to be talking to new clients each and every day. You're going to be hopping on the coaching calls to say, hey, Krista, I talked to this niche person and they were $500,000 in revenue. They needed bookkeeping and CFO services. And I pitched them this and they say, yes, right? Now, what do I do? Right? I'm freaking out, right? You're going to be able to hop on with me every single week and talk about what you're doing, get feedback, get coaching, get mentorship. Okay. And we do all of this in the first 30 days. Listen, the expectation of my program is that you get a bookkeeping, a tax resolution, a tax planning, or a CFO client within the first 30 days, right? That's the expectation, right? So we do more in 30 days than what most people figure out how to do in a whole year or 3 years. Okay. So let's talk about the format. It's available on desktop or mobile, and you get available 24/7. So meaning if you want to geek out in the middle of the night eating your ice cream on your sofa, you can. Okay, you're gonna get access on your smartphone, on your tablet, or on your PC. But you also get access to our private elite mastermind community. So this is where you're gonna ask questions 24/7, right? You're gonna get support, you're gonna get feedback, you're gonna grab an accountability partner. Listen, there has been so many people in this group that have met their best friend, their business bestie. And I just feel so honored that I was a part of that process, right? There's people that are now best friends from different states now, their girlfriends or their guy friends, because they're met their business bestie in this group, okay? This is also where you're going to get emotional support when you feel frustrated. So I actually want to take a look inside the community. So this is Takara. She was like, I love this group. Every time I feel overwhelmed, I get a notification from the group and I end up being motivated, right? So let me actually go to the group right now. And I told you guys earlier that we also do live case studies. So I do a live case study mostly every Friday. And what that looks like is I talk about tax or complicated tax law and accounting strategies that you can deploy, right? So if we go to our Facebook group here, you're going to see our case study today. It says live case study today at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the rise of OnlyFans and sugar baby, sugar daddy tax treatments. That was our case study today. And it was absolutely amazing, right? So if we search case study in here, you guys can see some of the past case studies that I've actually went live on, right? So this case study was how a CPA had to pay thousands of dollars and malpractice action was taken because of a misunderstanding, right? So we look at real case law and I break it down for you guys that you can learn from, right? And I do this every Friday. On this case study, it was S Corp reasonable compensation nightmare court case, right? So our Facebook community is game changer. One of the things that we do is create a schedule for you guys every single month. So if I go to my announcements right here, you guys are going to be able to see our June calendar, right? So the book of the month, we're reading Tax-Free Wealth. We have a book club every single month where we review a book and we discuss it. So we're going to be discussing this book towards the end of this month on Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. To talk about the strategies in that book. We have our morning mentor calls, right? We'll go over that in just a few. We have our weekly challenges, right? So this group is absolutely amazing. Everyone is like family and it's just game changer, being in a community with other like-minded people, okay? Dwayne posted this. He says, love this group. The dialogue last evening taught me a lot. Thanks, crew. And of course, Krista. Sky posted that she passed the special enrollment examination for her EA license. Lane posted about her and her husband going full-time in their entrepreneurship, right? So mastering marketing is just part of it, right? So this is a marketing program for you guys. So excuse me, if you want to get more clients, if you want to scale to $5,000 to $10,000 per month, this is a program for you, okay? But after you get the client, that's where a lot of people start to get discouraged because they don't know how to properly price. So we do give you our pricing master library, okay? We teach you how to price for taxes, for bookkeeping, tax resolution, financial coaching, tax planning, virtual CFO, and then we give you on-demand pricing support. So you can come on every morning. We have what we call mentor hours, and you can actually ask us, well, Krista, what do you think about this price for this client? And I'll actually review it and give you a breakdown on yay or nay if you should charge that amount for that client. This is on-demand support that you have for a year, okay? Now, because I want to make this as easy as possible for you guys, okay, I'm going to give you the virtual workflow mastery, right? So I'm going to show you how to onboard a tax client, a bookkeeping client, tax resolution client, CFO client, right? Virtually. I'm going to give you the step-by-step workflow, and you're going to get on-demand virtual workflow support. So again, if you get a client and you're like, hey, Krista, I just want you to look this over with me, or can we go through this process together? Again, we have mentor hours every single morning, Monday through Friday. I can do that with you on Zoom, right? On Zoom. So here's what you're going to get: the complete tax and accounting 6-figure accelerator program, so you can attract any type of client using social media, scaling your virtual tax and accounting firm to $250,000 or more. That's a $9,000 value. You're going to get the sales scripts, right? So when you get on the phone with these people, you're going to know exactly how to position your value, what questions to ask, right? How to handle the call. This alone is game changer. It's a $2,000 value. You're going to get access to our private Facebook mastermind community for a year. where you can ask any questions, get support when you need it. That's a $1,500 value. And you're going to get the virtual workflow mastery. So I'm going to show you how to onboard any type of client from anywhere around the world with ease. That's a $1,997 value. And then our pricing master library. I'm going to show you how to price any type of client for maximum profits so that you never leave money on the table, right? That's a $2,000 value. So this entire program is valued at $17,485. Okay. And this will help you attract your ideal clients on social media and get them on the call. This will help you get to $6,000 and $12,000 just with one client. Because let's be clear, a $500 per month bookkeeping client is a $6,000 a year client, right? So if you get a handful of those, you're well on your way to making six figures. This will give you access to other tax attorneys, CPAs, enrolled agents, certified bookkeepers ready to help you, right? Our community is bomb. They jump in. Not only do I answer questions, but other tax and accounting professionals in the group will hop in and answer your question and support you. Game changer, guys, game changer. So you can see why. Listen, if somebody said, Krista, I'm going to show you how to build this business to $250,000 with proven strategies, you got to pay me 17. That's a no-brainer, guys, because you can rinse and repeat this, okay? But I got a special offer for you guys tonight, okay? Those that sign up, and tonight is the last night, the only night where I'll be doing this promo. But you can sign up for 35% off, right? So right now, the program is $1997, okay? It's $1997 or 6 payments of like $395, right? But because you guys sat through this webinar, listen, we've been rocking out tonight, okay? I know the people that are still hanging on right here, you guys are serious because we've been rocking for like 2 hours. I love you guys. This has been so fun. But listen, if you sign up by midnight tonight, I'm going to give you 35% off. So you can do one payment of $19.97. But listen, you're going to put in coupon code unstoppable, okay? Because guess what? We unstoppable out here, guys, okay? Like we are scaling to multiple six figures. Tax season is not going to stop us from making an additional 10K a month. Just because tax season is over does not mean your income is over, right? Does not mean it's time to just be whimsical for the remainder of the year. So if you put in a discount code unstoppable, it's going to give you 35% off right now. The whole program, the coaching, the mentorship is only going to be $12.98, right? Only going to be $12.98. Now we do have a payment plan, right? So we got 6 payments here. Again, put in unstoppable, apply, and boom, you can get signed up today for just $256.75. Okay, just $256.75. So let me give you the link so you guys can go ahead and sign up. Now, when you do pay in full, we're going to give you 3 months free of onboardable. We're going to give you 50% off certifiable courses. And you're going to hop on a call with me, a Zoom call with me to actually help you set up your onboardable system. Okay. So you can go to bit.ly/mentor with Krista. Go to bit.ly/mentor with Krista. Can somebody type this in the chat for me? bit.ly/mentor with Krista is where you want to go ahead and get signed up tonight by midnight for the 35% off and use discount code unstoppable. Okay, unstoppable. So you can get signed up just for the $256.75 tonight, and then 5 additional payments at $256. Or you can just pay in full and get that 3 months free of onboardable, 50% off of all certifiable courses, and a Zoom call with me to help you set up your onboardable system, to help you set up your workflow. Okay. So bit.ly/mentor with Krista is the link. All right. So what questions do you guys have about this? Like, let me know what questions you guys have. Type them in the chat. Type them in the chat for me. All right. Jerica says, thanks so much. I learned a lot. Lachelle says, okay. There are people that compete for money. Oh, right. Hey, guys, you guys are in the chat. Okay, so Gabby posted this. She says, got my first client for tax planning. and bookkeeping. Persistent pays $1,000 for tax planning and another $1,000 for bookkeeping. Thanks to everyone for the support. So I do give a money back guarantee. Listen, if you get in here and you're like, I changed my mind, that rarely happens. But if it does, just shoot me an email, hello@christatayas.com, and just say, you want a refund, no questions asked, right? So you can get in here for 2 days, poke around, look at the content, join our Facebook group, right? See how you like it. But I'm telling you, a year of your life, guys, like give me a year of your life. I'm going to give you mentorship every day. I'm going to give you coaching calls every Thursday. You're going to be a part of a community where we have book clubs, we have live case studies, we are communicating, we have weekly challenges. You're going to get supported for an entire year to help grow and scale your business, right? For $1,000. Like, that's crazy. Okay, that is absolutely crazy. People have told me time and time again, Krista, this is too cheap, right? It should be 3,000. It should be, it could easily be 4,000. It could easily be $5,000. All of the support and mentorship and trainings that I give in this program. Okay, so don't miss out. Don't miss out. Tonight by midnight, you will get this discount. If not, guys, you're just gonna lose out. Okay, you just gonna lose out. Yes. So Adrian says, do you start right away? Absolutely. So as soon as you, actually, Adrian, I'll show you guys what the program looks like on the inside too, so you guys can see it right now. But as soon as you sign up, you're going to get immediate access to the program. Okay, you're gonna have immediate access to the program. You can start right away. And you're going to have your mentor call on Monday. So I have my new member calls on Mondays at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And that's where we walk through your entire strategy. I get to meet you personally on Zoom, right? Where we can have our video on. I can see you, you can see me. And we can actually talk through, like, how much money do you want to make? What services you want to offer? I have this every Monday for my new members. So when you sign up tonight, on Monday, be ready to rock and roll with me. Okay, we're gonna meet on Zoom and we're gonna get to work. Okay, we definitely gonna get to work. So let me show you what the actual program looks like on the inside. So after you sign up, this is how your program looks. It's 52 lessons. Now listen, I tell clients all the time, like, I do not put in fluff in my programs. Absolutely not. Everything that's in this program from start to finish is needed. It's required. It's here to help you. Okay. So we have our new member call where you will sign up for that. You're going to join your weekly calls in the Facebook group. I give you millionaire foundations, right? So how to niche down, how to learn about your niche and feel confident, social media branding, right? Setting up your professional email and website, choosing your services, right? And pricing on value. I give you our advanced pricing blueprint, how to price your services, how to craft your marketing message, when and how to quit your 9 to 5, right? It's a whole training on how to quit your job in here. We go in module 2, your virtual firm onboarding, right? So how to virtually onboard for bookkeeping, how to onboard for tax prep, how to onboard for tax resolutions, how to onboard clients from all over the country, right? And then your master forms library, where we give you like engagement letters and just checklists and things that you can swipe from the program. Module 3 is your strategy sessions and scripts. So we give you step-by-step, like, how do you actually go through a strategy session, right? What do you say? How do you say it? Mistakes to avoid, how to handle objections, right? All this whole module is just about how to handle that telephone consultation when you get on the phone with people. Making money fast, right? Module 4 is about getting your first 50 plus tax and bookkeeping clients, right? And this is good for you even if you already have tax and bookkeeping clients. How to increase your revenue. So people use this right here. If you already have tax clients, listen, you have bookkeeping clients already in your pipeline. You already have CFO clients in your pipeline, tax resolution, tax planning clients in your pipeline if you've already serviced some tax preparation clients this year. This training module right here teaches you how to upsell your existing tax preparation clients. Game changer, guys. This training module teaches you how to increase your fees. So when a lot of clients come to me, they come to me only charging like $100, $200, $250, $300 for taxes. Guys, listen, we like we get those fees all the way up. It's a common side effect of this program is an increase in confidence and an increase in your fee structure. So it's not uncommon for you to come in here only charging $300 for a tax return to now you're charging $750 to $1,000 per tax return. Okay. That is the shift. That is a mindset shift that happens when you join this program, right? Module 5 is generating leads. So I show you how can you actually generate leads on social media, right? And this is game changer because you need leads in order to convert them to a client, right? So you need to learn how to get leads, how to nurture your leads, how to cultivate your leads. So I go through an entire training module just on that. Now, this is the fun stuff, getting clients, right? This is the hunting strategy. So I show you how to get clients with Facebook, how to get clients with voice notes and video notes, how to get clients with LinkedIn, with Instagram, with how to optimize your Instagram page to get leads, right? How to get clients with Google, how to get tax resolution clients, how to whale hunt, right? Clients over $1 million in revenue, lateral partnerships, right? So this is game changer right here. Just this one strategy is $100,000 in revenue, like how to get clients by building strategic lateral partnerships, right? How to follow up and get more clients. Okay. Module 7 is going over the farming strategy. So how to become a niche celebrity and get clients to come to you, how to create content that converts into paid clients, how to shoot your first video, how to get clients with YouTube, right? How to post on social media that get clients, how to distribute your social media, and how to actually create your content, right? How to use Canva and actually create your content. And the last 2 modules are game changer too. So time management mindset. So a big objection that I get is like, okay, Krista, you want me to use social media to get clients. I'm supposed to be talking to these people every day. I'm supposed to be getting on the phone with these people. Then you want me to get the client, do the bookkeeping, do the accounting while being a wife or a husband, having children, and not going crazy. Okay. I get it. So here's what I did after listening to that. And people like, well, how do I keep up with everything? We created the time management and mindset module, right? So I really go through my own personal hacks. Like, how do I time manage? How do I ensure that all of my goals are met? How do I calendar block? You know, how do I really set my life plan, my goals for the future? We really talk about some high level stuff in here in this module. And then module 9, I tell clients the shift is you don't have to do the bookkeeping. You don't have to do the taxes. Can we normalize that? Like, people are like freaking out, like, wait, I don't have to do the bookkeeping. Wait, I don't have to do the taxes. Like, no, you don't have to be the person doing it. You could just be the person reviewing the work and being the face of the business. This is how Fortune 500 companies built their business and stay profitable, is that they outsource to cheap labor, cheap and competent and professional labor to get work done so that you can therefore go out and get more clients. If you're so busy doing the bookkeeping, no wonder you can't grow past 6 figures. No wonder you can't scale to $250,000, because you are still the only person that is responsible for doing the thing. And if you guys really want to scale to multiple 6 figures, you cannot be the only person doing the thing. Okay. We need to normalize outsourcing and hiring and not trying to be the only person doing the work. Okay. Now, not only do you get all this goodness in this course that's going to help you scale to $250,000, but again, we have additional support, additional training that we do to reinforce your skills, to help you out when you need it, right? To coach, train, and mentor you when you get stuck. A course is a course when like a course is nothing by itself, right? You just going on, you watching some videos, looking at some downloads. That's nothing. This is a program where you can get mentorship every day. You get coaching calls every week. You get support. And that's the game changer. This is not some buy it and you're just going to do it on your own. No, I'm not going anywhere, right? Me and my team, we're not going anywhere. We're here to support you. We're here to ensure that you hit your goals. All of you guys have goals, aspirations. You want to take care of your family. You want to quit your 9-to-5 job, right? You want to be financially free. Can we hashtag that in the chat? Financial freedom, right? And learning how to get clients, how to communicate your value, how to price on value, right? How to onboard them virtually, how to provide a wow customer experience where you create referrals and raving fans, teach you in the program. And then when you get discouraged, which you will, when you get overwhelmed, which you will, right? When you have too many clients that you can handle, which you will, right? You have a community to go to and get support. You have a community to go to and talk to and see and hear other people's experiences, learn from other people's experiences. That's the other thing. This is a group program, right? You're going to be hearing from people in over 13 different countries, primarily the United States, learning from their experiences, what they're going through, because people are going through stuff that you might not go through for another year from now, 2 years from now. But because you've been exposed to it, you've actually already learned from somebody that's going through the situation. Now you're already prepared. So you're reducing your learning curve. You're setting yourself up for success when you are putting yourself in a group capacity to learn, be in a community, and actually have a strategy, guys. Have a strategy. Like this program would change your life for $1,000, $1,000, right? It would absolutely change your life. I wish someone had said, "Hey, Krista, here's the blueprint for success. Pay me $1,000 and you can have it. And it's going to help you grow to 6 to 7 figures." I would have gladly paid it. Pay more, actually, right? Like I said, I need to be charging $6,000, $5,000 for this. So you have until tonight. You have until tonight. So I'm going to share my screen one last time so you can get the link. And it's bit.ly/mentor with Krista. bit.ly/mentor with Krista. And then you're going to use discount code unstoppable, right? I want all of you guys unstoppable for the remainder of this year. I don't want anything holding you guys back, right? I want you to prove to your family that you can build this business to the success that you want. I want you to prove to yourself that you can build this business to the level that you want. And it all starts with having a plan, having a strategy, and then relentlessly executing it. Okay. So use discount code unstoppable to go ahead and get 35% off tonight. You have until midnight tonight, right? I know some people gonna text me and DM me on Instagram and DM me on Facebook to say, "Hey, Krista, can I have the code?" And I'll be like, "Yo, you had until midnight, okay, to grab it. So go ahead, get off the fence, and let's rock and roll. I'm ready to support you guys." All right, so I don't see any questions in the chat, guys. I don't see any other questions in the chat. So beautiful. Look, the sun is starting to set, right? I'm excited. I'm about to go have some dinner with my kiddos, right? And finish my Starbucks drinks that kind of melted since we've been on. But I love you guys. I can't wait to support you. I can't wait to rock out